And what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Juice is Loose, number 119. For those of you in the live chat, we're waiting for Meza T. He was taking a Terminator deuce, and
Terminator Deuce.
yeah, no, we were just BSing before. We lost track of time. We were actually ready to go at 7, but never happens. So we didn't want to break the streak. So we got the usual team juice here, and then Mike, New World Order for Life is back again. It's been a few weeks, probably since the Switch reveal, I think. Maybe even before then. But welcome back, Mike. How's it going?
Thanks, Juice. Great to be here. I'd like to apologize to everybody in the chat about last time. My audio issues were terrible. I got my new gaming headsets, or my old gaming headsets on now, so there shouldn't be any issues. Thanks for having me, Juice. Can't wait to talk about Zelda.
Yep. So I told him he had to improve his audio, otherwise he couldn't come back. So.
It does sound much better, I think.
Yeah, because Mike has good points and good opinions, but we couldn't hear him last time. So, but yeah, everyone else.
I am part of the original Team Juice.
Yeah, he was part of the OG. So glad to have you back. We'll talk about Zelda later on, and we're not going to run down the introductions here. What we're going to do is we're going to start with Meza T, and I got kind of a little. For each person, I want to hear, some impressions or some thoughts on particular things. So, Meza T, I know you just put the video up, but if you want to just give a quick rundown of your PS4 Slim, Uncharted 4 impressions, and then we'll go from there.
I knew it. No, it's weird because the video I put up, it's the audio anyways from like a week ago, and I wasn't that far into Uncharted yet, but. So I'll try to give updated impressions here exclusively on the Juice is Loose podcast.
Oh, man. A Juice is scoop.
So, I really like the design of it, the form factor of the PS4 Slim. It's my favorite of the 3 versions because you have the Pro out there, which I'm not going to buy. I got mine. I said in the video I got it for $200 flat, so that was a no-brainer there. I think it's my fault. This is going to be different from my like I said, my impressions in the video itself. Is that I think I just played Uncharted too much this year. Like I played through 1 and 2 again not too long ago. And I even started on 3. And so I think I just have maybe a little bit of Uncharted fatigue, and I didn't give it as fair a shot. But there are things in it that I still don't like that I thought would be improved, but really haven't been. That's controls and the kind of linear nature of it, the world. And I think I might be seeping a little bit from Juice's talk about the game and stuff. He was talking about Tomb Raider and how he liked the gameplay in that much better, and so do I. But what I do like better in Uncharted is the grand scope, the production value of it, and that is there in spades. It's probably right there to me. 2 is the best, and 2 is the best for most people, and it's like right there as far as the production goes. The set pieces don't quite hit. To me, is the way they did in 2. I do like the new stealth mechanic. I thought I would like the what do you call it? I call it the Bionic Commando for you old school gamers out there. The rope that latches to certain stuff. I thought I would like that more, but I guess I feel like they didn't use it as cool as they probably could have. Because it was weird. It was like you were going between doing some real cool stuff, swinging, and then punching a guy. To like, oh, should I just be stealth? Because that's more, that's better in this section. And you had that kind of disjointed nature of like, oh, I'm going to be stealth here. And then like, because you can't really see the entire world or the section at least. And it was hard to be stealth when you wanted to at some points because you had to like you had to use the rope to swing across a chasm and everybody sees you.
I haven't used the rope in combat yet.
Oh, really?
In the combat, yeah.
It's fun, but it's like I said, you kind of going back and forth on what you should use. And should you be stealthy or should you do some cool like swinging, punching mechanic stuff? But I'm coming around. I didn't like the whole brother aspect because I thought it was kind of a cop out. Out of nowhere, he has his brother after 3 games that he's never mentioned before. I think they did a good enough job to explain it. Good enough. Didn't quite hit home for me, but it was good enough. And I like the mechanic of that. And I will say, though, this is not a spoiler, but the end fight, boss fight was a total cop out to me on the scale of like Shadows of Mordor. So if it wasn't for that, I think I would like it a lot more. I still like the game. It just wasn't as good for me as it seemed to be for a lot of other people. So to me, it's like it's below 2. It's in between 2 and 1 as far as my favorites. So it's I think it's better than 1 because some of the mechanics were improved, but overall I liked it. It was fun.
Cool. What do you think of just the layout of the OS of the PS4 and stuff?
I think I mentioned that a little bit. I didn't really go too in depth with that. I mean, I like it. It's streamlined for the most part, but it to me it still feels similar to the PS3, which I didn't really care for that much, but it's effective. You know, it's not. I feel weird even talking about a video game console's OS. It's just like I don't care. I want to start the game. It does that. Everything pops up. It's not as confusing as Xbox One's for sure. It's a lot more streamlined than that. And you can just kind of go where you want and what you need to do. I haven't really dabbled too much in like the settings.
Did you even do you have like a PSN and stuff?
Yeah, I set up my PSN. I said it in the video. I put it in the video.
Okay.
It's Miza T. It's Miza_T.
So, yeah, I searched for Miza and nothing came up.
Yeah, it's underscore. It wouldn't let me space. I don't think it let you do a space. So.
Oh yeah, I did hit space. That's why.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's probably why you can find me.
All right.
Does the new PS4 have any overheating issues?
Actually, I was checking that because I I put mine because it's the only space I have on top of my Xbox 360, which we all know that 360 can put out some heat, and it's probably not the best thing. But you know, I don't play it both at the same time. Obviously, that's stupid.
The back, yeah, I've noticed the back is where all the heat comes out.
Yeah, all the heat comes from there, but it's still really not that bad.
Yeah.
You know.
If Mike, if you didn't know, like the Slim runs at like 40 to 50% the power consumption of the original, the one you have, the original, and even the next wave with the Star Wars and the Batman ones, and then the noise and heat is like greatly reduced. So.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned the disc noise, and you said Rob was right about that. I don't remember it because I only have one disc. I put it in.
Yeah,
once.
when I put it in, I only did it once, and it was like.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. Probably I was just rushing to put it together or whatever, so I didn't even notice.
I will say the heat thing though. When I was playing for like maybe had it on 4 hours, and I had the wired Ethernet because I was downloading stuff and.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I'll just unplug this and hook it back to my TV, and I'll go wireless. And I reached back there, and like the Ethernet cord was really hot. So.
It's hot. See, I don't know if this was overheating, but I forgot about this. It did freeze on me. I think I went to I did a 4-hour session in Uncharted, and it did freeze once, and I had to like unplug it basically to get it to start up again. But
yeah, that's never fun.
Yeah, that was the only. It was fine because it had saved. It was at a spot where I was. So
yeah, it saves quite often actually. That's a big improvement there. And for anybody that's wondering about my opinions on my PS4, I did juice opinions, but I know those don't get nearly the views of the podcast. So basically, I like the system. I think it's the physical unit is fine. It's unobtrusive. It's small. It's way smaller than I thought. Quiet. There's no lights really other than the controller light.
One more thing before you go into, because you said controller. I didn't really mention that. I like the controller. I like it way better than the DualShocks, DualShock 3 and 2 and all that. And my only complaint with the controller is those nubs, man. They just feel like flat pancakes.
Yeah, the analog nubs.
Yeah, the analog nubs. I don't like them. That's my only complaint there.
I don't like the feel of the texture on there, but they actually, like, compared to the PS3, which was like,
oh yeah, it's still
there was no resistance. Those things were just loose and
Yeah.
no precision.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the PS4 controller it's in the same ballpark as the Xbox One and the Pro controller, Wii U Pro controller for me. Like as far as comfort and the build quality and the button quality, I mean it's right there. I think the Xbox One, the analog stick location and the analog sticks themselves are better on the Xbox One, but the triggers on the PS4 surprised me how good those are. So it's a nice controller, and I have the new model, so if I wanted to, I could run wired for like Street Fighter and stuff. To get you go into the menu and you can select wired USB, and then you get reduce input lag and stuff. So it's pretty cool there. The system, like the OS, way better than the PS3. It's similar, but to me, it's just laid out so much better. And yeah, system's fine. Like I thought, the menu was gonna be a little, I wasn't gonna like it as much because I didn't like the PS3s. But this one's it's simple. It's other than some of the options, there's a lot of options actually. Unlike other consoles, I don't have the Xbox One, so I don't know how that is, but. The console itself, I'm really actually pleasantly surprised and happy with it. So Uncharted 4 to me is way better than Uncharted 2. You guys know how I feel about Uncharted 2. And the biggest thing I was hoping for was improvement of the enemy AI. I was really I didn't really expect it, but I would have thought with the extra power that the enemies they're just dumb, and there's some issues there with the shooting. Still is a little bit tedious, and you can shoot guys and they can hit you from anywhere 100 yards away running, and they're still pelting you with bullets, which it is what it is. It's whatever. If they put a little bit of some of that production value into the AI, I would be happy, but I think a lot of people would rather have the production of the cinematics and the story. But for me, that's one of the things that's a little frustrating. Like I hope The Last of Us, which we'll talk about later, the sequel, has some improved AI and stuff. But overall, I like the game. I like it a lot more than I thought I would, and it's no Tomb Raider, but it's a pretty good game. So very pleased so far. I've spent $225 out the door, so I spent $25 more dollars, and I'm impressed with the demos I've played so far. Doom, the Resident Evil 7. Of course, the first time I played it was the brand new one. So
yeah, the midnight demo, which I haven't even tried yet.
Oh, you haven't? Well, I guess I scratched that off because that was going to be my part for you. Was gonna.
Oh snap!
Yeah, we played it. So
well, we planned on playing it that night, and just got too busy, and I have yet to get to it. So I'm really jealous.
So yeah, overall PS4, I don't have any regrets at this point. Like it feels like it's worth,
I mean that price. Like, can you?
Yeah.
You really?
Yeah.
Even if it was like, let's say it was $250 out there, I'd still felt like it was a good value.
Yeah, we were gonna get it at $250.
Yeah, I don't think if I had paid $400, I probably wouldn't be feeling very good about it. So
yeah,
I paid $5.
Yeah, well, with the game, you had to. What'd you get?
Yeah, I got Batman. Yeah, I got the Batman limited edition console and the game with it. Fucking nice.
Well, that's a nice collector's item though. So
yeah, but yeah, it's a rare, expensive dust collector for you, Mike.
Hey, it's great for watching YouTube. And,
wow,
$400 for YouTube.
I know it's well spent, man. It's well spent.
No, right. I'm waiting on Persona 5 and a couple other games. So
that's when I actually buy the console. I'm waiting.
Yeah, you got a ways to wait. The Switch will be out first. So
yeah.
I know that's what pisses me off, man.
I do have to say,
Persona 5 got pushed past the Switch release.
Yeah, it's like in April now.
You gotta be. Come on.
Hey man, you got The Last Guardian, Final Fantasy 15.
I got stuff to play, but it's just like
it was a ridiculous
reason. Game already, man.
Didn't they do it for like the Japanese audio track to be added?
Yeah, because Americans don't like to listen to English. They want to listen to Japanese.
That track's a garbage thing,
which is fucking ridiculous to me. But whatever.
Yeah, and I think Last Guardian was definitely delayed for the Pro because they again, our Digital Foundry there's two different Pro variations or updates
settings in the game. Yeah,
settings and just real quick, this is just another example of how the Pro is a failure again. Like it's just not doing what's promised. So the 4K mode is like 1900p or something, and
really 2K
with frame rate drops as bad as the stock PS4. It's 20, 25, 28. Sometimes 30. And then the other option is a 1080p mode, which you have to trick the system into. And basically, there's no graphical improvements, and it runs at a lock 30. Like that's the PS Pro advantage, a locked 30, and then the standard PS4 hits 20 to 25 quite off. Like when you're on screen with that whatever that thing's called, Trico or whatever.
Man, bear, pig.
Man, bear, pig.
So like basically, if you want a locked 30, which is what, in my opinion, a PS4 game should be almost locked 30.
I mean, that should happen by accident with every game.
You would think.
Yeah.
Just 30 frames per second. Come on.
Especially with the being a PS3 game at its heart.
Yeah, it's a PS3 game for the most part. So
and there's all this clothing animation and all this stuff nonsense going on, and then all the feathers ruffling separately and all this other stuff, and then you're like, I was like, man, if like even if it's a 7, 8 out of 10, I'd be maybe interested in it. And I'm like looking at 20 frames per second, like 20 to 22 for like long segment on Digital Foundry. Like, what the?
Is it?
Because it's reviewing well from what
I was about to say. It's reviewing around 85, so it's actually doing really well.
Yeah, it's reviewing well.
Is that at 86 or something?
86, yeah.
That's good.
I got mine already paid for, pre-ordered.
Doesn't it come out this week?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
But I think I did mine from Amazon, and Juice or anyone who uses Amazon. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I think their Christmas shipping has really hit them because everything I'm ordering is getting delayed.
Not for me, man. My last Guardian's coming tomorrow by 8 p.m.
I think it depends on where you live, because
I haven't had any problems.
Yeah, I live right next door to an Amazon department. Not really.
Yeah, my last Guardian says it's coming the 9th, even though I ordered it like a week and a half ago. And I just ordered some ear monitors for my music stuff recently that were supposed to come yesterday, and randomly they got delayed last night at the end of the night to like another week.
That's odd.
Yeah, they're like, sorry, it's just delayed. So I was like, what the hell? They were supposed to already be here. So
that really
I think it's this Christmas stuff, man. That's what it probably is.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, hopefully, the game. It seems to be like the 2 reviews I saw were that the good outweighs the bad, but some of the bad is things I don't think I could get over. I'll wait till I hear your guys, more of your guys' opinions, but just the camera controls and the controlling the character seem to be kind of a chore, and it's like. In 2016, you got camera that you can't see your character because there's foliage and giant bird dog thing in the way. It's like, it's frustrating.
2008 game, man.
Yeah, I definitely have some. Like, I'm really excited, but I have a lot of nerves, so I'm going in cautiously.
I'm gonna let some stuff slide.
Yeah, and
me too. Yeah, I'm with you.
And I watched about a half hour of the puzzle. It's basically a room that's a puzzle to get to the next area that's a puzzle type of thing.
That's how their last 2 games basically were. So that's cool. That's what I expect.
And it just, to me, it's like I could probably enjoy it, but I don't know if it's for me. It's probably not a $60 game.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah,
we'll see. But anyway, let's get on.
60?
I don't know what the price is actually.
I thought it was 60.
It's 60.
Yeah,
it's 60.
And I got it for 51 or 55.
Yeah. All right, so Robert, you've been playing a game.
Yeah,
just one.
Just a game.
Well, I'm surprised he's playing one.
He might have already moved on, but
no. Well, okay. So see, I have to describe what happened over the week because I actually saw one of the discussions was Final Fantasy 15. They said Robert's been playing, and I'm like, oh snap! And because. So Tuesday I bought the game and I played it. Wednesday I played it. Thursday I played some Paper Mario, and then the Game Awards happened, and I shouldn't have even bothered. Whatever. Friday I had no time. I had work, school. Saturday I had work, and then I played some Paper Mario. Sunday was work and not even being home. And then today I did play some Final Fantasy 15 also. So I played like 7 hours.
Well, that's more than everyone else, so
that's pretty good.
That's true. It's a lot of fun, people. It really is a lot of fun. And the reason I didn't play it those other 2 days is because I literally have 5 levels to go in Paper Mario, man. I'm so close. But Final Fantasy 15, people, I definitely recommend picking it up. It's a ton of fun. It reminds me of Xenoblade, which I need to get back into, by the way. However, to me, I like this combat better just because it's more the action sort of style, and I do like those. They're really easy to get into and fun to just kind of work together with your teammates. You're with Prompto, then you go and you fight using different tasks like using the AP skills and learning different techniques from one team and one partner from one another. And the world is massive. Actually, the world is massive. I think I'm pretty sure it's massive. I've been to multiple places. I'm on chapter 3, and then all of a sudden at chapter 3, it said you had to be like a level 19. I played it, got my ass kicked because I wasn't a level 19. I was like, oh, I should probably do side missions. So I started doing side missions.
Yeah, you got to grind, man.
Yeah, that's the rules of RPGs, man.
Yeah, especially Final Fantasy.
Yeah, well, I don't know that.
He was grinding on that Cindy in the.
Here we go.
Them tan lines.
Let's just say, yeah. That's
Get your pants
up. It's so weird that she's a mechanic. It makes no sense. The characters in this world are so random. I mean, first of all, like the main characters that you play as, Noctis and all those guys, they automatically make no sense because they're all royalty, and then the guy just has his shirt off, showing off his 6 packs. Nice. It's hilarious. But I like the characters. I actually do. In fact, today I rested in a place, which when you rest, that's how you gain XP. You gain XP through, defeating enemies, but you don't actually get that XP until you rest. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And
wait, so then if you die after you, let's say you won 20 battles and you're going to rest, but then you get killed, that means you lose all that experience?
Maybe. That hasn't happened to me yet. So I don't know.
He's like, he hasn't died, so he's not concerning himself with it.
I've only died once, and I don't think I had any XP during then, so I didn't really realize it.
Let me ask a question. Have you? Because I was watching some gameplay, and they went to the fast travel option, and they picked a route, and then they had to watch 5 minutes of the thing driving.
Okay, this is my negative. My main negative to this game is that, and you cannot skip it.
The loading screens?
And I'll tell you, nope, not the loading screen.
It's a fast travel, but it just forces you to watch them drive to the.
Well, that's not fast at all.
It's literally, yeah, that's the thing, is that it's literally, it's Ignis. He's the one that usually drives, or you could drive. However, I'm gonna say driving in quotation marks because the first thing I did was try to turn, and you can't. It just goes on the street. You can't control the car.
Oh my god, that's weird. That's a weird choice.
Incredibly strange. It blew my mind. I was like, wait a minute, why can't I turn?
Yeah, because I thought driving was a huge part of this game.
It is, but
or is
only
it
on the
sitting
street.
in a car?
You got to be a normal citizen. You can't drive off road.
So basically, you tell it where to go, and then you have to watch it drive there.
Yeah,
and you can move the camera around.
Yeah, I mean, when that happens, I just go on Twitter.
Oh my god!
You start tweeting selfies with your Final Fantasy characters.
Talk about padding the length of the game.
Oh, trust me, that's my.
Well, I think
100% negative with that, because literally you could fast travel, but it costs 10 gil, which is the currency there.
Okay.
Which, however, 10 gil is really nothing. However, there's a lot of times where you can't fast travel. So your fast travel in quotation marks is the auto driving, which is Ignis driving to your select destination.
They just want you to see the world they've created and make sure.
I was about to say, man, that's exactly what it is.
But if you can't drive off if you can't go explore in the car, then you have to walk. I say walk because it doesn't look like your movement of your character is very fast.
You get chocobos, don't you?
Yeah, he's pretty slow, and that's why his stamina, man. These guys are all jacked, but they can't run like 2 feet. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I did see a photo of one on a bird.
Yeah, I think you get chocobos later.
I wonder if you can control that though. Or
you can't control.
You kind of have to.
Okay.
You can't control the chocobo. However, I've never rode one because the one mission that I was trying to do, I got my ass kicked. I ran away. Before I died. I ran away. I'm like, I'm not versing these guys. Come on, guys. And then they started dying, and my teammate, the other guys, and I'm like, forget them. And so I just ran away.
They got to teach you the rules of engagement when it comes to RP.
Yeah,
well, it doesn't matter. He'll be moving on to Last Guardian here pretty soon.
Oh God.
See, look, the good thing is that December is pretty quiet after Last of Us. I wish Last Guardian.
Last Guardian. Yeah.
Until like January is like low, like has like 3 pretty big games. And,
oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's I got a good solid month of
so just rip through Paper Mario, then focus on.
I see what you did there.
Nice pun there.
Yeah, rip
I didn't even try it. So
you damn comedian, you.
So,
yeah, and I will say that I do actually like the characters. I don't mind them. I know a lot of people like to play in the Japanese and stuff, but I'd rather just have good old English, you know.
We don't have to have that conversation. I've had that conversation long enough.
because like they're all good characters. I think they're all fine, and you have nice conversations while you're in the car, and like for instance, here's my biggest negative. Hold on, what am I talking about? This is my biggest negative. You have to refill the car's gas.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Okay, and now guess what happened to me? I did not have any money, and I had to push it for a mile.
I heard about that too.
A mile.
Like at some point.
Took me 40 minutes. Took me 40 minutes just holding the acceleration button, and I just started watching YouTube.
At some point, you just got to remember it's a game and you make too many real world like bullshit things happen.
Jews, you know what the biggest problem is? It's Final Fantasy.
I was gonna say it's not only is it a game, it's a Final Fantasy game.
It's the worst game you can imagine.
I can ride giant yellow birds, but I gotta push my fucking car. What?
I mean, that's the thing. It's very cheap for gas, but again, literally, when I had zero gil, and so I had no money, and I just stopped, and then people were like, "Oh, well, you could tow your car," and I'm like, "Oh, I found that out later."
How do you get it towed? You have to walk to town.
I have to walk to the. Let's say I'm across the street. Across the world. Imagine I would have to walk back to Cindy and be like, "Hey, Cindy, can you tow my car for me?" Might as well not even bother because you're already on the other side of the world.
That's crazy.
Can I fast travel my car over here?
They need to pass.
No, if you want to fast travel, you can't. You can't fast travel because you need money too, and I didn't have money.
Come on.
So what if you jump on a chocobo and you take the chocobo all the way to the end of the map?
I would think so, unless he gets mad at you or something. I don't know.
I hope the chocobo doesn't have like breeding mechanics.
So I'm saying, like, will the car be where you are, or the car always stays in one spot?
It always stays in one spot. So wherever you leave it, it stays there. And so that's why when I saw, I'm like, oh well, maybe if I tried that, I'm like, well, maybe if I go somewhere else, and no, it just stayed there. I'm like, damn it, I gotta push this whole thing. And I mean, literally, it took me 40 minutes because at one point it was nighttime. And you had these giant monsters that were level 30 something. I just stayed there, and I just stayed at nighttime waiting.
Sounds like a lot of fun, man.
Sounds like I want to play.
This is like Kingdom Hearts gameplay with like sim mechanics. You don't need.
It's actually a lot of fun if you just don't lose gas.
Well, and that's the thing is, honestly, the game is reviewed really well, and everyone I've talked to who played it really likes it.
Yeah, I've heard positive things about it.
It's a ton of fun. It just watch out for the gas.
Yeah, they need to fix that. But
they should just.
It just seems like a weird mechanic being a fantasy game. Period.
A little bit more.
Can we talk about the fact that the first game ever to make you pump gas isn't a Grand Theft Auto game? It's fucking Final Fantasy.
That's so weird.
That is weird.
How did that happen?
Very weird.
And it's like, speaking of, we're gonna move on in a second. But speaking of the huge world, can they make a more plain looking world? I mean,
that's my biggest problem with the game right now.
The only distinct thing is those few what do you call them, arches, like of rock. That's the only thing other than some of the town stuff that sets it apart. Like, it's like, that's why Xenoblade, to me, that's why I had to buy the game, based on just on the settings, just on the continents, how diverse and unique they look.
Sure, yeah.
In Final Fantasy, it's like they had an opportunity with all this graphical power and stuff to really push the fantasy part, and you see like street vendors, you got like all this technology. It's like it's a weird thing. And that's
why I wonder if deeper into the debating
That's what I was wondering. Like maybe deeper in the game, you get more fantasy.
I would think so. Like
from what I've been seeing,
no, I've seen some gameplay and it's all been kind of bland.
Well, most people have been telling me that in the latter half of the game, it becomes insanely linear. Like you lose a lot.
Oh yeah, I heard that by like chapter 7 or whatever, it loses its openness.
Yeah, you're pretty much playing like a linear game for a while.
That's the opposite of how Final Fantasy 13 happened, where it was like really linear, and it took until mission 13 before it became open world.
It took until mission 13.
There's like a giant like Titan-looking rock, mountain. He's like part of the mountain, and he comes up. So there's some fantasy boss
some cool
fights.
stuff in
for
there.
sure. Yeah, all the bosses are fantasy-like, and the powers you have, and stuff like that. But a lot of it is kind of based in. It looks like a real world. Like it's just kind of the desert with the Cindy the mechanic that's half naked.
A lot of desert. I'm still excited. I've decided to pick it up sooner than I initially planned.
No, yeah, honestly. I think you should. I mean, it's a ton of fun. It's
sounds like it.
I
couldn't say that was
savage.
However, I will say that I'm debating that since again December's pretty empty. Try to blaze through Paper Mario. Well, not blaze. It takes me forever. I'm 36 hours in, and I still haven't beaten it. And maybe get back into Xenoblade. I don't know. You never know.
Wait, I'm not gonna believe that shit until you do it.
Maybe I should do that.
I'm in the same boat, Robert. Man,
is that a chocobo sound?
Just like
that's killing one. Shit.
We got what 3.5 months for your bucket list stuff to get.
Snap! Yeah,
that's true.
Winding up, kid.
It's gonna be a world
that's
soon.
right. I got it. The one I really want to do is Xenoblade though, because it really is an awesome game. I want to see Elma again.
No, you don't. You don't give a fuck about Elma.
And the Nude Squad, man. The Nude Squad's just waiting for me.
Oh, all right, bitch dick. I remember that bitch dick.
All right, so let's move on to a more cheerful discussion. This is Terrell. He's been very quiet since what day? Thursday was it?
It was Thursday or Friday. I think it was Thursday.
I haven't seen Terrell. I haven't heard from him in the chat. He's just been.
He pops up like his little avatar will pop up and then
he
it'll
reads.
disappear.
Yeah, he reads the chat, but he don't contribute. The only thing you said is Shantae is greater than Mighty Number 9. So
you have to elaborate on that one.
Okay. All right. Okay. So for those who don't know, because some people might be, why the hell you have the game already? If you participate in the Kickstarter and you did the early access tier, you get the game. They said, all right, you get the game earlier. Now they warned me and said there might be some bugs or some glitches. I haven't really run into anything, but it's that whole pre-alpha thing, and I've heard rumors that it's supposed to be coming out on consoles like December 20th. But I have the game because of early access tier, and this is on some god tier shit. All right. First things first. Because you've only played Pirate's Curse, right? You haven't played any other game, right?
I played the
second one.
Yeah,
Risky's Revenge.
Risky's Revenge.
Okay. Well, this game is probably close to the Risky's Revenge with some of the advancements Pirate's Curse made, because it's still like Metroid in the sense that you get like dancing abilities and you turn into different animals. And then you can go back to other areas and go to places you couldn't get to before. Mm-hmm. This shit is so fucking good. It's so fucking good. All right, all right. So first things first. You get like 12 different dance abilities. They fixed a few things I couldn't stand about some of the older games. Like for example, saving in the older games was all kind of dependent if you got to a certain point in the game and it was like, all right, now you can save. Here, it's like every time you finish a section of the stage, you can save. That's the other thing. They kind of changed it from where in every other game, you kind of just went all around the area and you did your stuff and then you beat the boss and then the shit ends. Here, it's like it has like a stage completed thing. So each world is consistent as a stage. Okay. And it's split up into like 3 different parts. The other cool thing I noticed is that even when you beat that stage and you get a new power and then you come back to do the extra stuff, there's things about the stage change. Like you get different enemies and different layouts, and it's cool because it's almost like you're having a new experience with the same stage twice. The abilities, most of them are from the older games, but a few new ones. Like they actually gave you a warp dance, which is awesome. Meaning, let's say you need to go to a certain part of the stage. Well, you buy the warp dance, and you can just teleport to that part of the stage. You don't have to go through the whole section of the stage.
If you've been there already, can you do it if you haven't been through that stage?
No. You can only do it after. It's only for like when it's to help with backtracking.
Okay.
So like when you have to go back to do something else in an older stage, that's really what it's for. And it's a power up. You can buy that dance. The other dances, you get your monkey and your elephant, your mermaid. The new ones I've seen are like the crab. They brought back the spider from the first game, and they all have like all these varying abilities. Like with my favorite one is the spider, because you essentially get a double jump that allows you to climb on walls, and it's fucking great. You also get a bat transformation that allows you to fly over major areas, which is a gots. And the gameplay, I would say, is kind of varied because like it's most of it's Metroidvania, but like I would say, like for example, the second stage, no, not the second, I'd probably say the third or fourth stage, you're doing like this magic carpet like race, and like the entire stage is you flying on these platforms, dodging other competitors, and then you're doing this cool air battle at the end of it. It's fun as hell. The humor is great. The Juice will enjoy the 2D the animations and the 2D high quality images because they've changed the art style again. But it looks good. I was surprised. It's just so fucking good. People ask why I was so quiet. That's why I was so quiet. I had things I wanted.
So you must have finished the game then, right?
No, I haven't finished.
No.
Yeah. See, did they give you the whole game in its alpha form?
Yeah, it's the whole game. Also,
that's sweet.
One last thing. This game would probably be the longest of any Shantae game because apparently you get 3 playable characters.
Nice.
You get Shantae, Risky, which is the pirate evil girl that you've seen in the other games, and then a third character I couldn't make out because they're both in silhouettes. Risky, I just know because of the way she looks. The other girl, I can't tell.
I also hear she's looking for revenge.
Well, she's very spiteful. That's what we like to say. But which I've only seen her a little bit in the main story. The storyline seems
she doesn't appear right away as the main villain like in the other 2 games.
She's the first boss, but like you don't really see her much after that. Like I have not ran into her again, and I've been playing for. I need to go back and count how many hours, but it's been a decent amount of hours. I haven't run across her again. It's not like an overarching plot like in the first game where it was like, well, we have to go get all Risky's stuff and seal these evil genies and shit. It's just kind of like an event happens, you go through a stage, you finish that event, another event happens. The only ongoing thing is that you're helping your uncle build this machine. Everything else just seems kind of like random events happening while you're helping your uncle out. So which means I'm probably going to get to the main plot pretty soon because from what I've seen, at least from what the game has told me, I'm like halfway through of Shantae's story. I don't know if it's one of those games where you have to do Shantae's, Risky's, and the other girls, and then it gives you like the final story or not. But so far, it's been really fun. To me, if you like Metroid specifically, you'll get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm debating on the physical version is supposed to be December 20th, and with the holidays and stuff that could pose a problem for getting the game. So I'm debating whether just to download it when it becomes available, like the other versions I have. But
they confirmed that one's coming to Wii U, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the physical copy too to Wii U.
Yeah,
that is so sweet.
They canceled. I think they canceled. I think the Xbox version's the only one that isn't getting a physical copy.
I gotta tell you, I'm excited. This is like going to be my first Shantae game, and I'm all in. I'm really excited to play this game.
I feel like I know you like Metroid a lot, so I feel like you'll get a kick out of it.
I believe it. I mean, Shantae forever. We've talked about it before. I know you guys are huge fans, and it's totally eluded me. Going back to the Game Boy games, like I never played them, but it's always had like a really good lineage, and everyone says these games are great. Everyone should play them. They're great, like 16-bit throwback kind of style games, and there's no reason in my life that I shouldn't have played any yet, but I just have not played them. So this one's coming out brand new as I'm paying attention to it. So I'm super pumped to like play it when it's brand new. And you showed that screenshot of what the art style looks like. And I got so excited because I love that art style.
Yeah,
I think you say it's different than the previous games, right? Because I've never seen it look that way.
Well,
the art style changes
way,
from game to game,
and it's way higher quality. It was always sprites before.
Well, and even like just the way it looked, like the Shantae sprite looked was different than what I feel like I've seen from other games.
Yeah, when she had her normal costume on, I thought she looked like I was expecting.
Yeah, I mean, she's her basic design, what she's wearing is the same. It's just kind of how she's animated. It's different.
What exactly is her backstory? Because I've never played as Shantae.
Shantae is a half genie who lives in it's not a town called Scuttletown.
It's like a port town.
Yeah, and she protects the city from a douchebag pirate woman named Risky Boots.
She doesn't live in a lamp? Come on, man. What kind of genie is this?
She's half. She's only half, man.
Oh, okay.
She's trying to represent her human heritage, man.
Gotcha. So she's a muggle. Basically, right?
Well, yeah. Okay, if we're gonna put it that way, yeah, she is.
Yeah, okay.
I noticed the bow and arrow, the chicks that shoot the arrows at you or whatever, like they got a big bump in there. Like their character design was, I don't know, they're like wearing like green camo pants or something. It's a really cool, like cute, cartoony kind of.
Well, they let the fans choose a lot of the designs. Like even for the crab transformation, we got to choose how it looked. The same thing goes for one of the new half genies you meet in the game named Holly. Her design we got to pick, and even some of the enemies, like actually the arrow, the arrow enemies, we got to pick their designs. So a lot of it, and they even have like an art gallery in there now, so you can like look at all the high quality art and even some of the sketches and like pre stuff. So it's really cool. I mean, there's a lot of other smaller tweaks I could talk about, but I know we have other things to talk about.
So sounds like you're pretty happy though. Worth the wait.
Oh, definitely, dude. It's fucking great.
I see. It says
I'm gonna play it again.
Oh, God damn.
I was like, I'm gonna play it again when it gets to the Wii U.
I know what Robert's
yeah, I saw that come in, but I haven't looked at it yet.
That's actually from Half Genie Hero, or not Half Genie Hero. Sorry, Pirate's Curse. There was a section.
Oh, you fucker! I see what you posted.
Yeah, we're.
I gotta look at this.
Is it Risky? Yeah, it's Risky, Roddy, Tops, Sky, and Shantae, and like Princess Leia, Jabba the Hutt outfit.
Which was funny considering what happens in that area when they're in these outfits.
A whole lot of cleavage, that's right.
Well, Way Forward loves their cleavage, and I don't, and I love Way Forward. So
who doesn't love their cleavage? Come on.
It's a great like I said, cutesy, cartoony, but it's not like some Japanese anime where it's just a blatant pornography type stuff. But it's done tastefully. And
I'm looking on Amazon and it shows the Wii U version as December 20th. I don't know if that's where people got that. But
well, yeah, that's what I've been hearing. I don't know because they already sent
$30.
They sent it in for review already. It's just they're just waiting for like Sony and Nintendo to get back to them.
If they're manufacturing the disc while waiting for Nintendo to see if there's any bugs or not, because they could just day one patch it. But there's definitely not enough time if they haven't started manufacturing.
I'm pretty sure they have.
So last thing, because I know we got to move on. Terrell, what would you say if I was going to play a Shantae like tomorrow before this one comes out? What should I play?
Pirate's Curse.
Well, the last one?
I would think Pirate's Curse.
Pirate's Curse is the most Metroid-esque. I actually would say that's the. Well, I don't know if Juice, if you agree with me between that and Risky's Revenge.
I liked Pirate's Curse. Well, first of all, what was Risky's Revenge first on? Like the DS?
Yeah, it was on like the DS.
So,
yep.
Wait, isn't that the one that's coming out? Risky's Revenge?
No. That Half Genie Hero is the new game.
Oh, Half Genie Hero. Yeah. Okay, I'm all confused.
So Risky's Revenge was like a DS game, and
they ported it.
It's got some on the Wii U. Like the visually, it doesn't look great, but it looks okay. It's got some cool mechanics, but Pirate's Curse to me, which I played first, was Pirate's Curse. Was a 3DS game ported to Wii U. It's it's got widescreen support and a little bit cleaner visuals, and I felt it was a little more user or maybe beginner friendly. The Pirate's Curse, and then going back to Risky's, I was like, wow, this is definitely a little tougher. But you lose the transformations in Pirate's Curse, like in what Shantae was known for was transforming into animals. And stuff.
It's not the best representation of Shantae in general. but you'll get the general idea. I feel like if you went from Pirate's Curse to Half Genie Hero, you would be fine.
Yeah, it sounds like that's the one I should play. And if that's on Wii U and I can download it, I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, you can get that on. Hell, you can get a physical copy of that on PlayStation 4.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, I might do that.
Yeah, they got physical copies for Pirate's Curse and Risky's Revenge.
I'm looking at Risky's Revenge right now on PS4 and Amazon for $104.
Oh
yeah, just download.
Jesus!
What the hell?
That shit just got released like a month ago. What the fuck?
It's sold out from Amazon, and the only other person selling it is.
Well, you also gotta remember, Shantae doesn't usually get physical releases, so people were just kind of like, "Fuck it, we gotta get this now."
Yeah. Check Best Buy and GameStop.
I'm surprised that I didn't realize it. Jesus, that's
$108. My bad.
Oh, it's not that much of a difference in the grand scheme.
Well, damn.
Let me just take out a second mortgage so I can buy this game.
But yeah, I would say if you wanted to play something, play Pirate's Curse. Whether you want to play on the Wii U, PS4, or Steam, it's on. I think they pretty much.
Even I might do 3DS.
Yeah, it's on the 3DS too. But I feel like you probably get the best kick out of it on the console.
I would think Wii U download would probably. I mean, it's a pretty small size, and I think it's maybe 15, 20 still. Like I got it with a price drop on.
It's a good price.
At E3, they had a price drop.
Got to get that disc, man.
Yeah, man.
That's when I turned Juice onto it, and that man was ready. I was surprised.
I gave up on it because I did that and Guacamelee at the same time. And then I finished Guacamelee. I was like, I guess I'll try Shantae again. Because the first, I can't remember the circumstances, but I was like, I got to play it quick. Something was, I forget, like something was coming on TV or something. So I kind of rushed through the opening and I didn't read a lot of what was being said. I didn't know what was going on or what I had to do. And I had to start over because I was like, I saved it and then I had skipped a lot of stuff because I was just trying to get to the game to get some impressions of it. And so I had to start over because I missed a lot of the important things. So, but once you get the little hang of the mechanics, it's a good game.
I'm pumped.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's talk quick about. We didn't get a lot of info, but Nintendo released a video basically talking about their partnership with Universal, and there was an interview with like the head of Universal theme park or whatever that's called, and then. It was Miyamoto, wasn't it? That was the other person. I watched it whenever, like a week ago. And they didn't really talk about much except there's more coming later down the line. I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on what they talked about. And in the background, there was some really cool, like, it almost looked like maybe that's what you're going to see. Like, it was like from Super Mario 3D World, it was like the layered, like, cave setting with, like, tell like there was rock. Like a rock layer and like a dirt layer, and it was like really cool looking, finished, like a set. And I don't know if that's what you're gonna see or if it's gonna be more grand. So, without going into like your best case scenario, like ideas for what they could do, what are you guys' thoughts on just getting a little update and what would you be excited for at a Universal Studios or theme park thing, kind of like the Harry Potter, I don't know if they're going to go that scale because that was a pretty big endeavor. So
yeah,
I don't know if anybody wants to go first, or what they thought of that and what they're looking forward to maybe seeing.
Give it to Mike, man. We haven't really heard from Mike.
Yeah,
it's hard to get a word in edgewise when you guys go.
Yeah.
I would think there's a million possibilities for this. You could have, Zelda dungeons or visit Peach Castle. You could do warp pipes around the, there's just a million things that you could think of. What could you F-Zero ride, do
Mario Kart, probably Mario Kart.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
honestly,
going to be bumper carts.
Yeah, it'd be carts. It'd be like an actual go-kart track.
Yeah.
Maybe some zero gravity.
Yeah, honestly, there's just no limit to what I could think of. All the games we have and all the stuff. I mean, I'm not just gonna, keep guessing random rides. I mean,
let me throw this at you. Would you rather have like a walkthrough of like all these, like the Breath of the Wild at E3? That's that type of setting, maybe that size for Zelda, and then the next area is the Mario one. And then the next one's like a Metroid one, or would you rather have them make Peach's Castle like to scale or close to scale, you know, and then have a bunch of cool stuff inside there all in Mario. Like, would you rather have them mix up a bunch of their stuff or focus on maybe like the Mario world?
I think Peach's Castle should be like in the middle of the entire park. Be a huge like place where like all the stores are located, and then there's also like, you know, like all the Toads are in there, and all these different like, you know, decorations, like paintings on the walls and stuff. Make it look like Mario 64 and everything, but you know, put characters in there, but also make it like the place where you can do all your shopping and stuff. And then all the other places of the theme park could be like differently themed Nintendo areas, which I think would be really cool.
Yeah. So we're all pretty much adults here except for Robert. Would you guys go just for this, or I mean, if this was as cool, if they had Peach's
hell yeah. Like it was cool for me, especially because I already lived in the area, and I used to go to Universal and used to go to Epcot Center and stuff all the time. So, but I would totally like book a trip just to go. And the way I would set it up is, you know, obviously it needs to be called Nintendo Land. I mean, come on. It needs to be called Nintendo Land. And you got to break it up with like, you break it up into sections: Mushroom Kingdom, the Land of Hyrule. That's how I would do it, you know, like, and then you can have your castle for both. And I don't know. I guess you would kind of do what they do with the Castle for Magic Kingdom, because you can't really like go in there. It's just kind of a prop.
Okay.
But I mean, you could do that, or you could do, you know, you could have it be like some kind of area where you can just kind of go around and see, like, you know, the history of Mario, all that kind of stuff, you know. But I would totally want to be in like sectioned off, but like in these different worlds, and then you have rides incorporating that stuff, you know, not just a ride for Mario Kart. I want to be in like Mushroom Kingdom, and then Mario Kart is a part of it, you know, like that's a section of it. And then like I don't know, I can't really think of anything right now, but I'm sure I can come up with some cool ideas.
Yeah,
I would totally like book a trip just to go to Universal for Nintendo Land. That's not even a thing.
I mean, I would, just because there's also the Harry Potter one there too.
Right, and there's other stuff there too. You don't have to just go for that. There's other stuff.
That's the thing. Like, if I think about wanting to go just because the Nintendo Land thing opens up, I would say hell yeah also, but only if it was as significant as something like Harry Potter or what they're going to be doing with Star Wars.
Well, size-wise, it's supposed to be as big as
it's supposed to be as big as.
And if it is, then that's great. Then I'm all in, of course.
Yeah.
I'm worried that it might be like, oh, here's a couple of really cool Nintendo-themed things that would be neat to see if you go just to go. But if you're going to go just to like see the opening of the Nintendo thing, like it's got to be pretty like significant and badass.
For sure.
Like,
they didn't talk about the investment.
Like a whole nother world, man. That's
no, I don't think so.
Yeah. But they said it was going to be as big as Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Yeah,
so
they're going to put.
Huge.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's good news. That's what I want.
Which is huge.
All right, Mike. Mike.
I was just saying they're going to invest in it 100%. Like they're putting all their money into it. You know, they have a full partnership with Nintendo. They're going to make it big. They're not just going to do like, you know, I'll come out here for a little gimmicks. They're going to literally turn it into a themed park, you know, specifically for Nintendo. So
it's going to be such.
Hey, come out here for Mario Cotton Candy and then.
Yeah, because like it could be something where it's like they build like a hotel that looks like the Magic Kingdom, and there's one ride and then one restaurant. You know, and it's like that's not enough. Like we want to feel like we've left planet Earth and we've walked into Nintendo Land.
Yep.
yeah.
Well, I can tell you right now, I'm rewatching the video, and they're definitely.
I might have to do that too.
It's only a minute. Like if you want to just put it on mute and watch it, you can see in the background.
I'm gonna do that,
It's Super Mario 3D World. It's downscale, but these are like finished pieces. Like they're at one of the it's probably indoor facilities where you can walk through and just feel like you're in New Super Mario Brothers. Like there's the pine trees with snow on them, and then there's like the underground area, and it's like there's a coin spinning. So this to me is part. They're not saying it is, but to me this looks like finished.
Maybe
like,
stuff they've already started building.
They're at. Otherwise, this is a pretty elaborate set just for this minute-long video. So
well,
they
it could
got
be special
money,
effects. It
no,
could be
it's
like
real.
blue
It's
screen or
practical.
something. No, okay.
You can.
I'm pulling it up right now. So
Yeah, it's
I mean,
definitely practical.
It's practical, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this, that oh my God, I went to Universal in April and in June of this year, in both California and Florida. Universal was like the greatest place on earth. I love movies, video games, and the next one, if I could go every day, would be amusement parks. I absolutely love amusement parks, and Universal is the best because you have Jurassic Park, Harry Potter, and now Nintendo. I mean, holy crap, that's going to be
They used to have
amazing.
Indiana Jones. They used to have
Yeah.
Jaws. All these different things.
King Kong.
Well, not Indiana
all
Jones.
kinds
That's
of-
Disney. Unless, did they take it out of Universal? Apparently, I don't know. Because
Which
they
one?
have
Jaws
they
they did, yeah.
still do have Indiana
Jaws was
Jones
awesome.
and Disney. They have Indiana Jones ride.
Oh, okay, that's good.
But
Well, they own it now, so
Yeah.
well,
Which
the
is
whole
kind of
thing.
fortuitous because it was there so long ago. You know?
yeah.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, that for this Nintendo place, how you were talking about, oh well, you could go inside of Peach's Castle maybe. Well, they actually have the Jurassic Park Visitor Center, and they have the full scale exactly like it. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God.
Oh, that's so awesome,
Yeah.
man.
And it has the music, dun, 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 you know, and so you walk inside, it's got the same staircase, everything,
Yeah.
and
it's
you
over
could
there.
and you could literally they inside it they have like more fossils and stuff, but they also have like little things to play around with. Like you were able to make your own dinosaur with your face. It was weird. Then you could like have a quiz show, and there was a bunch of different things, and they could definitely do that with Peach's Castle. Imagine you could sell, obviously you could sell merchandise there, but then you could
Right.
also do a Mario quiz. Hey, welcome to you got Toby. You could like a Mario Party quiz. You know how they do those kind of stuff, and that could be a ton of fun.
Yeah, they definitely have to have a go-kart with Mario Kart.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
They got it. They
That's-
have to have, because again, one of the best rides there is a lot of the Harry Potter ones. Both of those are the best, and it's all simulation stuff. I love the simulation stuff, but it's like a mix with real. It's a ride, but also with simulation. It's so cool, and it feels like you're getting dragged, and it's amazing. And so the fact that they could do that with Mario Kart easily. Like have a simulation,
just
but
have an
really,
Yeah, they have like those 3D rides, like
Yeah.
Spider-Man,
Like Star
where
Tours.
you
I
feel
think
like
they
you're
would
moving, but
have-
you're not really moving. It just feels like it, and you get all the breezes and all the cool
Oh, that would be
Yeah,
imagine
flames.
you
like,
imagine
somebody
you're in
shoots
an
a
actual
flame at you,
go-kart.
you can feel it. That would be so cool.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I would rather like have like recreate a few different Mario Kart classic tracks and then have go-karts for them. Like, and you
Or
I
both.
feel like that's the kind of thing they would do.
Yeah.
No, I don't think. I think they'll do simulation because I don't see Universal doing real life stuff for a while. It seems like like
I think it'll be a
Costco
sim
Island
thing.
is simulation. A lot of their new rides are all simulation rides, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go more towards that again. And I wouldn't mind it because again, if you mix both real with simulation, it's amazing.
Oh, it's
And I
great.
love that.
Those
Yeah.
rides are awesome, man. You could
Oh,
use
So,
those
Again, the
feel
Star
like
Wars
it.
did the same thing too back
Yep.
in the day.
yeah, I mean, it would be cool even if they built like let's say a 1/4 scale Peach's Castle, Hyrule Castle, type of stuff. Even if they just, a lot of it was like what they did at E3 and recreating,
Yeah,
Breath of the Wild.
definitely.
I
that
mean,
kind
that's
of
a good
stuff's
example
cool.
of what they were probably thinking about doing. That might have been why they did that.
Not
yeah.
everything's gonna be like a super awesome ride or something. They can just have some less. To me, that would probably be a lesser attraction.
It's like
If-
what
Well, you go through Diagon
Epcot
Alley and
Center.
you just walk around, and it's great. You could
Epcot
have a
has-
wand.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all I was
Yeah.
saying.
Epcot has like the different like Norway and all these different countries and stuff together, and it's just a theme. They have cool rides within them, but you have the overall theme of that area and stuff, and that's what I think they should go that route and have really cool rides incorporated with the like I said, you have Peach's Castle, you have the Mushroom Kingdom, you have the Land of Hyrule, you have Pikmin World or something.
Pokemon.
Where everything's huge and you're like,
Pokemon's got to be huge.
obviously Pokemon, yeah.
Pokemon
like
should be its own section.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's got to be a
Oh,
ton.
for sure, 100%. Yeah.
have like a Pokemon Go app, but then you get in this area and a real bush shakes when people get close. Like the
that'd be
Pokemon in
cool.
there.
If they just put like exclusive Pokemon, like like the really rare ones, you can come here in the park. If you get in, you can catch them. Like that would be
Oh,
a
man,
huge
that
draw.
That would have been
Y'all just trying to hurt me right now. I can't take this kind of stress.
That's the kind of thing they need to do to bring Pokemon Go back, man.
Yeah.
To make it a big deal again.
Yeah, Pokemon Go would have launched with that. But let me throw this question at Terrell. Speaking of Pokemon, do you want people in Pikachu suits walking around and just?
They do that.
They already do that.
They do that in Japan. All the goddamn. They do that. Hell, then they do that in the Nintendo store. Yeah. Sometimes. I'm kind of burnt out on the Pikachu. I mean,
well, would you rather have that or just like really cool statues of
I want like statues of the trainers, man. Give me like a statue. It doesn't even have to be like Ash, but give me like the statues of some of the main characters from the main games.
But you're an adult. I think it's fine. Yeah. Kids walking around. Kids love to.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna have it. I'm not.
You gotta. Yeah. No, I'm just saying
they're gonna have
it. I don't think Juice wants.
That's like they have Bumblebee.
He gonna get hugged on some Pikachu hugs, man.
All right.
They have a Megatron that actually talks to you. He's like, and literally, it's just a random guy, but it's in the Megatron voice, and he's giant. It's super.
I'm Megatron.
Megatron.
Michael Bay, property of Michael Bay.
I'll tell you what. I just want to be able to go to Hyrule and find a Hyrulean pub and sit down and have some Hyrule beer.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Totally. That's what you
got. Actors with Hyrulean ears.
Yes, have like.
Let's do it.
They should have like a cuckoo farm.
What's the thing called? Like the Renaissance show.
Yeah.
Like that kind of a deal. That's what they.
Zelda just strolls in. You're having a beer with your bros. And you're like, hey, look, there's Zelda.
That would be so.
That's what. Imagine.
Forget about it.
Well, they should just let. Well, no, because you should let them dress up.
Let
you dress up as Link.
Nah, man, it's too exciting, man. It's too exciting.
You're the one who got me talking about.
It's your fault.
Pokemon would be great
because.
because.
Wing ride. Imagine if you could have like a loft wing.
Stop
and
it.
just like how the Peter Pan ride made you feel like you were flying. They could do that with a loft wing, and you're flying over Skyloft and all that.
Damn,
you're killing it right now.
A raft.
Which Zelda would you want to be represented?
Which Mike?
I said a raft ride with friggin' like arrows that you could shoot at.
What the Wind Waker? You could do the King of Red Lion.
You could do
the Red Lion.
Yeah.
This is like
on the Red Lion. Oh my god.
We're such a bunch of fanboys.
We had no ideas until like 2 seconds ago.
I know. Well, let me throw this at you because you talk about the pub in like Hyrule. For those that played A Link Between Worlds, you went into that pub and it was like a guitarist and like an acoustic guitar and somebody else playing like the themes from the past games. And you could like ask them to play and it was amazing sounding and stuff. Like imagine that. And
that would be hire like real musicians to go in there and just like do all
and instead of a jukebox, you just go up to a bard and you give them 1 pence and you're like, hey, give me the Ocarina of Time song.
Give a rupee, right?
Yeah, here you go. Have a rupee.
Buy rupees before you go in, and you can.
Oh my god, yes, that's the currency.
Oh,
that would be so cool.
They could make it so that like everywhere around the park, there are places where rupees continually spawn, so you can only get them.
Put the grass over there.
Yeah, people just start swinging swords at grass, like looking for rupees.
But one last thing, then we're gonna move on. I hope to do like a casting call for like actual. Like people
actors.
To play, let's say Zelda, and then have
real actors, not like
have like the Twilight Princess Zelda, but have it be like legit prosthetic ears and all that. Like to me, that would be awesome.
I'm sure.
I'd be taking a picture with her. Like,
Oh yeah,
go ahead. You can sit on my lap, Zelda. It's cool.
No, that ain't a master sword in my pocket.
Is that your sword, my lord?
Your sword, my lord.
So yeah, we sound like a bunch of 10-year-olds getting excited over.
But that's what Nintendo does to you.
I know.
Yeah, man.
That's the perfect way to get into the next segment.
Yeah,
you got it.
Well, actually, no. Our next segment is the PlayStation Experience. So.
Take us down
I want to take it down.
Hashtag Sony Experience.
I didn't want to end with that. So now that I got a PlayStation 4, I just want people to know this isn't going to be like still going to be the typical podcast.
Sony podcast.
You know, we'll still be covering Nintendo. No, we don't always just cover Nintendo like that.
Yeah,
we just couldn't. We couldn't because there wasn't enough to talk about lately. But so the PlayStation Experience, I'm going to guess no one watched the actual event, but we all. I mean, most
I watched it.
Did you?
Yeah, I watched it too.
Yeah.
How long was it?
Too damn long.
I think it was an hour, right? I don't think it was that long.
Was it?
Or was it longer? I didn't watch it either. So
I thought it was like it felt like about 2 hours or so. Two
maybe
2 going on 3 hours.
Wow.
No, was it? Oh, maybe.
Wow, wait, I'm subscribed to their fucking YouTube channel.
Yeah, because I mean, there wasn't even that many announcements to fill up 2 hours.
Yeah, well, it wasn't really as many.
It might be also the pre-show that I'm thinking about too.
Oh yeah.
It probably was maybe like an hour.
There wasn't that many announcements. You know how Sony, other than last year's E3, they do kind of go on and on.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. So I forgot to look up everything. I know the Crash.
The Last of Us.
The Crash remakes. It's a triple. Like,
the Uncharted 4.
The insane
episode.
remakes.
Yeah.
So we had the Last
Marvel
of Us.
versus Capcom Infinite.
Yeah.
It only showed like
Uncharted 4 not quite DLC.
Yeah.
Is it or isn't it?
It is DLC.
It just seemed like but it's not. It's
but you don't need Uncharted 4 to play it.
Really?
No,
yeah, you can
just like
someone could just buy it.
Just like Left Behind, Last of Us Left Behind, I guess.
Or like what's that game?
Remember Left Behind? Couldn't you purchase that like on the side?
I don't know if you could with Left Behind. Maybe not. I'm not sure.
Also, and also Infamous vs. Light, that too. Yeah.
Infamous was that way.
Well, let's talk about like the bigger ones out of this. So
okay.
Crash. I saw the trailer. I don't know if there's any gameplay, like anything other than the trailer.
This gameplay.
The game, the trailer was gameplay. I don't know if there was like an extended gameplay session.
It's slightly extended. I think I linked some of it in the chat.
What I watched was like was a couple minutes tops.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not long. It's not a lot.
All right, so I never liked Crash Bandicoot's gameplay. I mean, it came out against Mario 64, and it's like once you played that, it was hard for me to go to this linear, like lesser experience. So I'm not the best person to judge. I will say that I like that they improved it. The visuals look great and clean, but it still looks, to me, it doesn't look so non-Crash Bandicoot, like
it's still super Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, which is what it should be.
It should be that. Yeah, I'm happy about it. I just think a lot of these people who are happy about it ain't really about that Crash like that.
They ain't about that Crash.
Those Crash games are not easy.
No, they are not.
Especially not the first one.
Especially the first one. Yeah, they got a little easier.
Well, there's this one that actually is incredibly easy. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, let's.
You talking about
it's on PS2 or something.
Yeah, you talking about that.
I want to talk. First and foremost, what do you think of what they? Obviously, T already gave his thoughts. I gave my thoughts on the visuals they went with for. It's not a remaster. It's a remake. They had to build.
I mean, I'm really excited that they took it to that level. The level of remake-ness that they're doing to it, I think, is going to help it. And they did it to all 3 games.
All 3 of them.
That's going to be. It's going to feel like brand new stuff. It's the way we've said Nintendo did a great job with taking old games.
Dishes, by the way.
There is or there isn't.
Now, if somebody's doing dishes in the background, I'm hearing.
dishes.
I'm hearing forks, scrape plates, or something.
And those fat bastards. Who is it?
I'm just sitting down.
I've been hearing it for about a minute. I just wondered. Sorry, Rob. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think that the same way we think Nintendo did a great job taking old SD games and remaking them with Wind Waker. I like the fact that they're kind of doing the same thing with 3 games and really rebuilding them so they're going to feel brand new. And the visual style, I do love the visual style in and of itself, and I'm excited for it. But the guys on the Kind of Funny cast made me kind of realize that they might have almost taken some of the original crashness out of it because it's too clean and polished. And I thought about that. I'm like, it seems like a weird thing to say in 2016 with how good the game looks, but I think that there's something to that. But I don't really think it's going to hinder the game. I like the graphical style overall. And I just love how much effort it seems like they've put into it. So it's pretty exciting to me.
That's weird. I think there's nothing to that. I feel like this is if they had the power, this is the same game they would have made in '96.
Yeah, and I do agree with that too.
It still has the feel of Crash. It still has that same feel for me watching it. And the way he moves and all that stuff, and obviously he's a lot more animated and all that stuff. But I just think that's nostalgia talking.
It could be. I mean, I didn't think about it until they said it, and I was like, that sounds weird, but I don't know. I just kind of felt something when they said it. I was like, I guess that makes sense, but I really don't care. I love the way it looks, and it's interesting because Crash is because like you said, Juice, it came out around Mario 64 time, and that was the genesis of 3D gaming, was that era, and the PS1 definitely played a part in the beginning of 3D gaming. Obviously the 64 Nintendo actually did it right, But the PlayStation really played a big part in the early 3D days, and this was like their first real attempt to do something serious in the 3D space. And like in a lot of ways it worked, but in a lot of ways it didn't. So it's going to be interesting to see how they've adjusted that sort of awkward first-gen 3D gameplay to work nowadays with how we expect 3D gameplay to be. Because it was awkward at the time. That was the reason Mario 64 eclipsed Crash, because it was way better at being a 3D game than Crash Bandicoot was, even though Crash was still cool. But I mean, and I think
but
like,
Crash was able to make
before
3 games when there was only one Mario 64.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And like Crash, I know the original games, they didn't have any analog stick support, man. That didn't exist until the 64. So I know that they've added that to the Insane Trilogy thing, right? That now you can actually use an analog, which is a big deal for Crash because you couldn't do that. It was only D-pad, which is weird for 3D. So it's going to be crazy.
It wasn't really
the 3D. Yeah, the 3D of Crash though. I still would rather use the D-pad regardless because the way the game plays, I like the D-pad better than I do the analog stick.
Do you think? Do you think that maybe with how they've rebuilt that it won't feel that way though?
That worries me because I don't want it to be.
To me, it looked like it would play just like in the Uncharted 4 little gameplay.
It looked tight. You know, it looked like what I expect from a Crash game from that era. So,
and I like that. I mean, I'm a huge supporter to this day of the D-pad. There are so many games where I prefer to use a D-pad, especially with a platformer, than an analog. So I'm with you there. Like, I kind of want that to be true, but I'm a little bit worried that I'd have somehow made it feel that the D-pad won't really get the job done, and you might have to use the analog stick.
That's why I never like Juice was saying about Super Mario 64. I never compared Crash to 64. I mean, to me they were 2 different games. They were platformers, obviously.
Oh, they are. They absolutely are. Yeah.
64 and Mario 64 didn't hinder my enjoyment of Crash because I just felt like there were 2 different types of platformers.
I knew they're different, but I couldn't go back. Yeah. I just couldn't go back to that, and to me the gameplay just was repetitive and boring. Like I just couldn't, and I'm definitely not buying the remake. I'm just I'm glad it's cool they're doing it, and I think it's a good thing for Sony to try because some of those franchises people have been asking for a long time, and
it's something that isn't a brown shooter. That's a nice. It's really refreshing.
It's an old school to me. Like the Crash games are like an old school. Like just kind of hardcore platformer, which actually Mario hasn't been since Mario 3. Like it to me, it harkens back to that era of platformers, where Nintendo hasn't really done that. Like the hard, just like, oh my God, like Mario 1 and 3, and then of course Mario 2 Japan. I mean, those are like hardcore platformers. Like
they are, yeah. And I agree with that. What you say about Crash, like Crash really was that. It's basically a 2D side scroller that happens in 3D going.
Yeah, it just happens to be
on the X-axis instead of the Y-axis.
Right,
cool.
Right.
But I don't know that I totally agree about Mario because I feel like 3D World kind of did that only in a 3D space. I feel like 3D World had some of the really difficult old school platforming fundamentals.
Yeah, it had some in there. I just meant like overall, like this is a package. This is a hardcore platformer.
Sure. Yeah, the old school ones did that better.
We'll see.
And Mario World,
We'll see if they end up being hard.
Not that I care. It doesn't bother me either way. It just like it just harkened back to that.
We got to push forward here. We're so they showed some trailers for games we already like Horizon and Resident Evil 7, which the Resident Evil 7 trailer showed some new stuff, but it's like how people were talking about Xenoblade Chronicles X. How we've seen this game too much. There was even diehard RPG guys that owned Wii U's that didn't buy Xenoblade because they said it just took too long to come out, which is ridiculous.
So weird.
I'm feeling that
flaw in logic.
Yeah, it's stupid. But
especially if the game was good.
Yeah, exactly. But for Horizon now, I've already seen everything I really needed to see from a trailer standpoint. Like to me, it's like they've showed it at the last 2 or maybe 3 PlayStation experiences. We've seen it at 2 E3s. So for me, like I just need like someone to play the game, the final game, and say, hey, it's not broken. It runs well, and it's a fun game. I don't need to see it anymore, so I'm not excited about that. I wasn't excited to see it. Like actually, the PlayStation Pro gameplay actually sold me on the game more than anything. So yeah, nothing exciting there. Marvel vs. Capcom. There's some controversy. Maybe we'll talk about that at a later time. it looks pretty terrible from what they showed.
I got things to say, man.
Yeah, I got things to say too.
I got shit to say.
We'll save that for another day.
Damn it.
Last of Us Part 2, obviously. To me, like, that was like finding out that game exists is like finding out that a new 3D Mario game exists. To me, like, this was 100% going to happen from day one. Like, as soon as the game was a huge success. So I wasn't like, it wasn't like a great surprise or anything. And then, you know, they didn't really have any gameplay, but I like what they showed. Just let us know, hey, some time has passed. These characters are older. These are the characters in the game. So that's cool. And hopefully at E3 they'll show us some gameplay, because
there was, I don't mean to cut you off, but just in case you might not have heard it, Neil Druckmann did release a pretty cool public statement about the game, because they did a Q&A right afterwards. That was a Naughty Dog Q&A.
Yeah, it was a panel,
Yeah, there was a panel. Really great information came out. Ellie is officially 19 in this game. You officially play as Ellie instead of Joel in this game. They confirmed those two things. And Neil Druckmann made a great public statement. It was like 2 paragraphs long, and he basically said it took them a long time to decide to make this game. So they're pretty early stages of the game, to be fair.
So you're talking at least
2018.
18 or 19, 18 or 19.
I think the success of the PS4 version is what pushed this. I don't think they were going to make another one.
Possibly.
Until that thing dropped, and it was just like did really well, and people.
Well,
really
it was like 6 million on PS3, and like it's 4 million on PS4, but it's been below $40 for at least a year and 2 years now. Like it's been
probably 2 years, yeah.
Did
it do 6 on PS3? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
So it's hard, you know, just like I was saying about we've seen Horizon, we're going to be seeing The Last of Us for a while. So that's why I'm not like, oh my God, super excited. Like if it's like, oh, by the way, it's going to be out holiday 2017 or early 2018, it'd be a different scenario. So it's just cool to know it exists, and that the trailer was cool. The song.
You have to change the name from Last of Us to Not Quite Last of Us.
So there's kind of some more of us.
But
there's more of us, yeah.
Just like
there's more of us.
When I said earlier, like I really hope they do a little bit more into the gameplay. Like I do, like the stealth gameplay was great, but the AI in that game, like you could stealth kill a guy. They're standing literally elbow to elbow.
Don't ruin it for me, man. It's in the mail.
This
isn't story, but you can take out a guy, and the guy next to him has no idea you're there, and then you can take him out.
I'll tell you, The Last of Us, I think, is like a 10 out of 10 out of 10 for me. But absolutely, the biggest problem with that game is everything Juice is saying.
That's one thing I did hear about it.
It's the only thing that really you're so immersed in the experience in the world, the characters, and then like that happens, and you're like, oh yeah, it's a video game.
And even when you're in combat with them, it's like there's so much potential there with the budget, with the time talent they have, they put into all the voice acting and all the cinematics and story, and just like allocate like 20-30% more into the actual AI and the gameplay and really hone that in, and that could be a 10 out of 10 for me. Like I
meant to say that during our Uncharted stuff, that was the one thing that drove me not crazy, but that really bothered me and took me out of the game, is that on Naughty Dog type games of late, like Uncharted and whatnot, was that they spend a lot of time making everything seem realistic and real, yet you're kind of doing this unrealistic, jumping on cliffs, and then you're getting shot with tank shells, multiple tank shells, like that. Almost doesn't go together, because it's kind of like the super realism of the world that they build and stuff mixed in with that kind of, oh, this is a video game, by the way.
I feel like that's the risk that the gaming world runs into, trying to make stuff so realistic.
Exactly.
Really, because you're never going to get around that sort of uncanny valley of gameplay, if you will. Right. Like, oh yeah, you have to run into those walls that remind you you're playing a fake video game world with a controller.
And that was Tomb Raider's problem too, is that this is the beginning of her, and like it's like her killing was just like, oh my, it was like a moment, and after that she's just like Sarah Connor. She turns into like that, like a snap of a finger, and she's like Sarah Connor murdering everything in sight. And like, oh, that's weird.
I do let that stuff slide, but
you have to let it slide.
It is a problem. It's a real criticism.
Anybody else that had played The Last of Us have anything to say before we move on to the Zelda?
Oh, I can't wait, man. Like Last of Us really is one of my favorite games also. And it's to see Ellie and Joel back again, which we haven't seen Joel's face. I just want to see his face.
That's true.
I can't wait. And now, it's awesome because it's almost like I'm growing up with Ellie. Because by the time it comes out, I'll be 19. She'll be 19.
Man, you sound like my girlfriend talking about how she grew up with Harry Potter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. I cannot wait, and I can't wait till 2018, I guess, or 2019.
That's the sad. Like, it's cool you to let us know it exists, but to me, it almost was a little too early, and the PS4 might even be on its last, like just like
Damn, that's a good point.
Yeah,
it's a very good point, man.
PS5 might be coming out the same year as.
Oh, we're gonna get Last of Us Part 2 remaster.
They probably will. They probably will, and oh well.
The cycle will continue.
The cycle continues.
Just like Zelda, right now is
basically because we learned about that technically in 2013. You know what I mean? Because that's when they talked about it in the direct. So
it was 14. But.
Any God of War fans? Anything?
No, but remember in 2013 they talked in the direct. They said
that they're working on a game.
Yeah, they said they're working on a game, and that's when we knew. Oh, they're working on a Zelda.
Yeah, but 2014. That's when I feel like it started.
Well, he said they were breaking conventions. Remember? I don't know, man.
Yeah, they did. You're right. Yeah, I remember that.
That was earlier in 2014. They had an interview saying they were discussing, or maybe that was
January 2013. The direct. That's when
the one where they revealed the Wind Waker.
And then they said, "Oh, we're breaking conventions in this new one." And
All right. So, T, you said something about God of War.
Yeah, I just sent. Is it anybody?
I love God of War.
I didn't hear anything about it.
Did they talk about
it? They showed new gameplay.
Did they?
Oh, did they?
I thought they did.
I didn't see anything.
Okay, maybe I watched some old stuff then. I thought I was watching some new stuff.
The funny thing is they're showing it in their TV ad, and then it says in development PlayStation 4 game. And it's like in their TV ad for the holidays, which I think
I saw that, yeah.
And it's
that's ridiculous.
Spider-Man, God of War. It's like these games aren't coming out anytime soon.
three out of the 5 games were like in development, not coming out.
All right,
but
so
Sony does that.
Yep. All right, let's move on. I want to start with the Zelda trailer, and then we'll talk about the Zelda gameplay because there was new stuff in both. And
here we go.
I know Mike wants to talk about it.
Go, Mike. Go.
Mike. Just the trailer. They showed a female. They didn't show the face. They showed the Master Sword on Link's back. They showed a flying, Captain Falcon looking bird dude. They had a dog companion. They showed in one shot. Stuff like that. Was cool to see. But what'd you think of the trailer? And seeing more of the game, towns, and all that compared to what we saw at E3.
So the trailer is basically like a tapestry showing the past leading into like the gameplay. Like in other words, it's almost like someone's telling a story of what happened in the past.
Oh yeah, because they had
Yeah. And they had this really cool thing in the beginning too, where Game Explain pointed out with the fire enveloped the Nintendo logo, and then with the tapestry you see it's being lit up by the fire, you see the embers in the air and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a really nice presentation on the trailer. But yeah, the beginning shows the Sheikah eye crying down, like a tear coming out of the Sheikah eye, and then landing on the land, and then trees spring up. So this is a question of, does this mean that Sheikah had a hand in creating life? Or is this simply meaning that the tear was a symbol of despair, and then from that despair life came anyway? There's a lot of ways to look at that particular instance, and I think it's just really interesting. There's a lot of conversation you could have. I don't think we have the time on this podcast right now. There's a lot of conversation you could have based on that one scene alone. But moving on, the villages I thought looked really cool. They look very Japanese-esque, almost like from the Meiji era. With those rice fields and
almost like samurai type that area, or well, not area that what's the word? Time, place, and time, whatever. Yeah, Era. God, why couldn't I think
You were right there. You said area.
I was right there. But yeah, that's what it made me think of. Was I just watched The Last Samurai, which was kind of fitting.
Yeah, and I don't think they've ever actually gone that route before, like actually putting in Asian culture into the Zelda games, like the real Japanese-esque living style.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool. You could see that there's some waterfalls in the village, and that there's like that horse head is in one of the. It's like a little area by itself, so it's like maybe they actually worship some animals because they're so backwater, they're so primitive that they actually have idol worship. And because you see like pictures of horses everywhere, like looking like these people might be worshiping them or something of that nature. So I think they put a lot of information, in terms of agriculture, in terms of living in that trilogy. They put a lot of good stuff. We saw there was animals like dogs. That's freaking awesome. There were dogs in Ocarina of Time and probably Twilight Princess too, I think.
There were dogs.
There were wolves. Yeah.
No, there were cats in Twilight Princess. Yeah.
Cats in Twilight Princess. Yeah.
Yeah, but you could be the wolf. But in Ocarina of Time, they did have dogs. And going quickly to the big scene where you see Link with the Master Sword on his back. I got to point out, a lot of people have said this, that there's no Sheikah tablet on his waist. So that means, obviously, it should mean this. I think it makes the most sense that this isn't a scene that takes place in the current present of the game. I feel like Link, as most people have pointed out this on YouTube, that he most likely has either flashbacks or you actually get to see moments of time play out from the past. And this is probably why he had the Master Sword on his back and why there was no Sheikah tablet, because we're probably seeing Link unlock his memories as we play through the game, with probably by those hero orbs or those spirit orbs that you get from the Sheikah.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really cool. The bird really looks like, to me, a descendant of the Loftlings. There's way too much influence from Skyward Sword in this game. You have the goddess statues. You have Hylia's crest everywhere. You even have areas in the world that are named after Hylia. These things do not exist in Twilight Princess, nor do they exist in Ocarina of Time. And, I think that this shows you, and even if you look at the destroyed fountain in one of those scenes, you can see that one of the crests on the fountain in Twilight Princess, and you compare it to the crest that's destroyed in the trailer, the wing looks different. It looks more like Hylia's wing than it does the royal family wing. So I feel like this is very heavy Skyward Sword influence, this game. I mean, it's got a lot of influences from all kinds of games, but there's a big thing of Skyward Sword mythology here that I feel like you can't just say, there's Koroks in the game and there's all these things in the game, so who cares if there's goddess statues? Because the goddess statues.
All right, Mike, I'm going to cut you off. I just wanted to get everyone's thoughts on that.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry.
I don't want to go in. I gave you some time, but I don't really want to go into in-depth theories.
Well, then I'll just quickly finish my thing. Sorry, I'll just quickly finish my thing. And the trailer was awesome. The bird thing going up to the sky looks amazing. The Master Sword looks amazing, and I think the girl, in both instances, the girl is Zelda. That's the really quick, short version of it.
All right.
Sorry.
Let's go on to Ms. T next. What did you think of the trailer? Some of Mike's analysts there. I want to focus on the female character. Make some predictions or thoughts on that. But as far as we saw a ton of Zelda at E3. What did this trailer do for you? What is a minute 20, whatever it is, for you and your excitement about the game, or any questions you had? What did this trailer do for you, I guess?
Well, I didn't think it would, but it definitely raised my my excitement for the game, and it has a lot to do with a lot of the what could be's. I want to say that girl was Zelda, but I don't know. I think it might be a Nintendo messing with us a little bit. I think they might be messing with us. It could be a new character or something. and this just seems like, to me, it's going to be one of the most cinematic Zelda games and the most in-depth story-wise. And I just think that is so cool. Like, because a lot of fans, like, we know about the Zelda lore, and we dig a little bit deeper and we connect games and stuff like that. Nice. But to have Nintendo actually do that, it just feels like they've been listening to Triforce Johnson or something with a lot of the stuff that they're seeming to do with this game. And I'm just really intrigued by the fact that they're adding. They started to do that in Skyward Sword, at bring in technology and stuff. So you have like the flying fortress. I'm just intrigued, like what they're going to do with that, and what the Sheikah's, what's their role in this game. Yeah, that kind of stuff. That stuff to me is exciting. Obviously the gameplay we've seen, and we got a little bit more. We'll talk about that. But I didn't think I would be more excited, because we've seen this game for a while now, and I just want to play it. But I think those elements, like with Link kneeling, and then whatever that mysterious character was that came in, and what that whole scene was about, like, that's really intriguing to me. And like he was saying, like Mike was saying, they're just melding. It seems like they're melding a lot of stuff together. It definitely feels very Twilight Princess, or very Skyward Sword, but there's definitely, like, the world is built Twilight Princess. The world of Twilight Princess basically expanded. That's what it looks like to me, obviously. But
yeah, I think they're gonna kind of mix a lot of, because they got the dudes from Wind Waker. They'll
get the Wind Waker,
the Koroks, yeah.
So,
the most likely explanation for that, in my opinion, is that it's a different timeline with all similar elements of all the games.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a melting pot, because they got this huge open world, and I just think instead of worrying
they can do
about
what they want, they ain't
I think
worried about that stuff.
Yeah, they want to throw in throwbacks, I think, is what that's my theory. But Terrell, since he's not the big Zelda guy, never finished a Zelda game. Did this trailer? What did this trailer do for you? Anything? Or did it change one way or the other?
Intrigued. I would say I was intrigued story wise. Honestly, gameplay wise, you're not going to get me any more interested than I was at E3. I am more intrigued story wise, not by like an insane amount. You got to think about it. We've been watching this game for how long now? Like at least 2 going on 3 years. At this point, you just want the fucking thing to come out already. But this is when we're starting to get more story stuff, and that was probably the most interesting stuff for me. Well, no, I'm not gonna say that. It's raised more intrigue the more I see of it. As far as who I think the girl is, I probably would say Zelda. Just because I don't think, because Nintendo always focuses gameplay first, I can't see them adding in the whole female Link thing just for the fuck of it. So I would say female. I would say Zelda, and hopefully, and I think it's more of a stretch to say this, but maybe a playable Zelda in some form. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
That'd be cool. So you're excited because you've seen some potential waifus.
That's what I was thinking.
I wouldn't say that. I'm not. Legend of Zelda's never hit me on the waifu level. Just shit. I get more. I'm gonna say I get more.
Skyward Sword, man, you'd be on that level.
Oh no. Okay, all right. I've seen Skyward Sword Zelda. Skyward Sword Zelda is back. That's it.
She's pretty special, man. Let me tell you.
Her and maybe Tetra. That's it. Those are the two.
And what about Midna?
True form Midna.
I'm not. Midna. I've never been that crazy. I was more interested in Fee.
I feel like Robert's a pretty big fan of the Midna, right?
He is, because she's naked.
She ain't wearing no clothes. She's kind of sexual.
What is happening?
Yeah, she was sexual.
Yeah, man, they made it sexual and stuff. I don't know.
I feel like Robert wants to be her wolf. I really do.
Wow.
He already is a dog, so it's fine.
There's a chance that this Zelda is Skyward Sword Zelda in Breath of the Wild.
I would love that.
Maybe.
I think it might be a direct sequel. There's a feeling.
Definitely possibility.
Knowing Nintendo, though?
Welcome to the Zelda Theory Podcast, everybody.
So, Robert, let's try to get onto the gameplay pretty quick. So I know we've kind of all said a lot of the same stuff, but just the trailer, what'd you think of it, and what's your excitement level?
Villagers awesome. You got towns. That was cool. You had a dog walking right beside you. I mean, like, oh, I can't wait for this game. I mean,
that wasn't Link, was it?
No. I take that back. It wasn't walking around, and we just saw a dog. And
that tells me.
Hopefully, I really do think we could, tame him though. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you look at the Wolf Link.
Yeah,
amiibo,
you would think you'd be able to tame the dog.
Like, how would they just add that just for an amiibo? I think the normal thing is going to be, if you don't have the amiibo, it's just going to have a dog companion.
Just a regular dog, yeah.
Just a regular, which is still cool though.
How'd you get both Wolf Link and the dog?
Probably not.
Imagine have a herd. That'd be awesome.
Someone just commented that if you don't feed Epona, you have to push her back to town.
That's great.
Well done. High five.
Nice.
That was Hillian Explorer. So. I paraphrase it, but that was pretty funny.
You win the day, sir.
Yeah.
You win the day.
How about you, Rob?
So yeah, quickly, the trailer obviously was great. I did talk about it a little bit in my own video. Everyone's pretty much said the things that were really exciting that I took away from it. We finally saw some NPCs, which is exciting. The towns, like, we knew there'd be towns, but now we've seen them, so that's freaking great. Like, we've actually seen them, so it feels like they're, like, real tangible things. I'm very excited for that part. The story context is awesome to finally see that stuff. The girl characters, the only thing I'll say is it's what I'd like to see. Like, I kind of like what you said, T, how it's like maybe Nintendo's tricking us and that isn't Zelda.
Yeah.
And I would almost like the idea, building on that, is maybe they're not the same person. And maybe really just one of them is Zelda and maybe the other one isn't, which is really kind of exciting. That could be really cool. Like, they could be tricking us in one of the two ways, right? I think that'd be interesting. And you also talked about how, like, this could be, like, the most story-heavy and cinematic-heavy Zelda, which is totally true. But when you consider how, like, Skyward Sword did that to the nth degree, so they'd have to really trump how Skyward Sword did that. Because Skyward Sword had a lot of cinematics and a lot of story, which is, I think, what makes that game really good. So I'm hoping they build on that, but they're going to give us the freedom that Skyward Sword, like, kind of tricked us into thinking was there, but really wasn't there. So I think this game is going to really deliver it. And the last thing, I think the thing that I want to talk about too, and I brought this up on my video, is the graphics of this game. Because everyone's talking about, is this Wii U or is it Switch? We know it's probably Wii U because the gameplay they did was Wii U. So why wouldn't the trailer have been the Wii U version?
It looked Wii U to me.
It looks Wii U. But, like, my whole thing is, I don't think we should undersell how freaking beautiful this game is, even if that is the Wii U version. Like, and I said this on my video, it looks so good that if that was the Switch gameplay, I'm still happy. Yeah. It looks fan-freaking-tastic.
The cinematics.
Oh, yeah.
The Link's crouched. Either he's kneeling or he's, like...
Or sitting or whatever.
Sad.
He's sad.
But
I think he's kneeling, man. He's kneeling.
Yeah, he's kneeling.
And then you get the close-up. Like, that art style, and I think that was all Wii U.
So do I.
It looks gorgeous. It looks amazing. Like, I just can't wait to see, like, Zelda's face and see what Ganon looks like, and it just looks so incredible. Yeah, the actual game itself doesn't. It still looks great, but you could tell, like, just like with, like, The Last of Us.
Animation, man. Like, wow.
The cinematics definitely looked better than the actual game. The game still looked good. And
the game looks good. Like, I think of this trailer and the opening shots where it was just cutting from, like, a panning shot every 2 or 3 seconds of different parts of the world and the town and the waterfalls. Like, that stuff looked amazing. It looked,
and, like, the fall setting.
Game. The fall setting, yep, and, like, the sunset, like,
gorgeous.
The foggy area. I don't know, man. Like, people could talk graphics all day long if they want. I think the game looks stellar no matter what version we looked at. I'm really, really happy with what they're doing with it, man. Oh, my God. So, yeah, and that's what I took away.
I'm going to throw this out here. First, the female we saw first was wearing basically Link's outfit in the game, kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
like travel attire.
It looked like she had the Sheikah slate in her hand.
Yeah, it looked like she was holding it.
I have a couple theories. My first instinct was, for some reason, and the Sheikah slate just kind of broke that theory for me, but I was like, maybe we're going to see Link's mom, Like, it looked like more of a... It didn't, you could only see the hair, but to me, it kind of like looked like a mom figure to me.
Really?
So
I don't know. She looked too young to me.
She looked
You didn't see anything. You saw like shoulders to.
You saw a slender body.
It's that way she carries herself.
She's a MILF. Okay.
That walk, man.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. My
I
God.
think the last shot was 100% Zelda. I mean, it'd be easy for them to fool us.
Yeah, I think so.
But to me, that's Zelda or the Queen. Maybe it's her Zelda's mom. I don't know, but I don't think there's gonna be a playable female character. She definitely, because it looked like the same garb as Link's wearing. So wouldn't it make sense that his mom would be wearing this? It's like they were in the same.
Maybe his sister.
Yeah, and maybe could be a lot of things, but that's my thoughts. Then the gameplay they showed, it was a chopped up clip. We didn't see every step of the way. It was edited, kind of just showing the highlights.
Very very YouTube kind of approach to it.
Yeah, it was
very
weird.
Let's play style.
Bill Trennan and Dan something.
I don't know. I
liked it. I think they did it for time.
I just think the way they did it. I think Sean Long was the one who said that should have been like the intro stuff.
Yeah, that should have been the beginning.
I think the trailer should have been the big event, thing.
Right.
Inside.
Well, let me ask you guys this. I like that idea in theory. I actually agree with that. However, do you think that what Nintendo was thinking is the first new thing we show people, wouldn't it have been less exciting if it was just Bill and that guy just like fumbling through a part? I think what they wanted to do is make sure the first new thing we saw as an audience was the trailer, because really that's, I think, more impactful. And that's probably why they did that. Even though in terms
there's probably no good way to show it.
There isn't. Yeah, there's no good way to do that. And like if we're trying to like remove the Game Awards from the thing, right? In the Game Awards, you think trailer makes more sense there. But if we think non-Game Awards, if Nintendo were to just release those two videos one day and then one the next day, trailer first, man.
Yeah, because I'm on their YouTube channel right now, and the trailer was the first thing, and
that was in the pre-show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm just talking about on the YouTube channel. Nintendo's YouTube channel, you got the Breath of the Wild, Life in Ruins trailer was out, and then a few hours or
because they released it. No, it was the same day. They released it in the order they released it in the Game Awards. In the Game Awards, it was the trailers first, and then they did.
Yeah, but I get what Rob's saying. He's saying to just people on their YouTube channel or Nintendo's website or seeing the first new Zelda footage they'd seen in a while was this trailer with the music and stuff, and not just Bill and the other guy trying to be funny on camera type of stuff.
That's exactly it.
That makes sense.
The music they made a good choice. Is amazing. Oh, that music is awesome.
Yeah.
So the gameplay stuff, we saw lightning arrows. We saw like a what do you call it? A NPC. No talking.
Camouflage.
Yeah, the camouflage. Yeah, the
smart AI.
Yeah, that's where
smart AI
kind of effect. The AI of the combatants or whatever, the enemies, was really cool. And then the whole idea of an environmental puzzle, like, hey, there's these lyrics, and now they're going to use these lyrics to figure out where this prize is, and using like the serpent head or whatever it was. So let's start with the NPC not talking. So it's text. Let's start from there. And what do you guys think? We'll go in reverse order of the last time. So Rob, how do you feel about that? And then some of the other stuff we saw.
Honestly, like the tech stuff doesn't bother me. I feel like I could see a lot of people having problems with that, and I would get that because this game is they kind of teased us with this idea of voice acting. But I feel like after the initial trailer at E3, once we started seeing everything they were showing, I kind of started to realize I think it's going to be mostly text, like most Zelda games, and like it's a little bit of a bummer for sure, but I don't personally care. So I think that's fine. As far as everything else, I kind of liked the way they put the gameplay trailer, so I felt pretty positive walking away from how they showed everything and the interactions and the light arrow stuff looked great. I loved the combat with that big monster thing at the end. I talked about that in my video too. So I don't know. I mean, overall, I feel really good about it, and I don't mind the text. I do think I have to say on that front though that we'll probably get still some voice acting. I don't want to make it sound like I think they're not doing voice acting. I think for key cinematics and for key characters, not Link, of course, we'll probably get some voice acting. Like if if there's a town where we first meet Link, or if you go to like, you know, Hyrule Castle and you have to talk to a couple people, that's when you'll get the voice acting. But I think people should expect a mostly text game, just like usual. So
cool. And then Ms. T, since you brought up the AI, that was kind of where I was. That stood out to me when he threw the bomb and it ran away, and it looked like, you know, he died trying to fight those things. Looks like that's going to be the challenge, is going to be the smart, you know, dealing with smarter AI than maybe we've seen before.
Well, if you actually looked at the footage, you saw that there was 3 yellow hearts, and after he got hit from one of the regular enemies, he went down to 3 regular hearts.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of damage, a lot of challenge in this game. A lot.
Sweet. The toughest Zelda since like Zelda 2 probably.
Or Minish Cap. Minish Cap's really freaking hard.
Minish Cap's hard too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So who's clicking their mouse there? I keep hearing the mouse clicking.
Who's mousing?
No, I didn't do it.
Well, I guess that was me, apparently.
Mute your mic. Mute your mic, man.
I knew it was him.
Was it that loud?
Yeah, it's really loud.
We can hear it. Yeah.
I would see his avatar pop up when it was quiet, and I could hear it clicking.
Click.
I was like, "Oh, that's real."
So, Teed, I know that you know, during E3, you tried not to watch everything. You didn't have time to watch everything. So I don't know if you ever went back and did, but what was
I watched a lot. I won't say everything, but I did go back and watch a lot.
What this new gameplay do for you?
Not really that much. Like I said, I thought it was a little disjointed because they seem to be kind of goofily going through it or whatever. But that was the thing definitely that stood out, was the he threw the bomb at the Coblin, whatever kind of Coblin it was, and he just kind of, oh no, I'm moving out of the way of that, son. That ain't that, I'm not feeling that right there. Like, he knew. And it's not only that, just the fact that again, Game Explain pointed it out, because they point out every freaking thing. These things happen, but I noticed it too during the trailer, was like just the NPCs looking at each other, like the world just feels alive. And I think they finally I think that's something they've wanted to do for a while with Zelda games, and they've finally been able to achieve it with this one, where it's one thing to have NPCs look at you as you walk by, but they look at each other now. And to me, that's you're in a world now. That's cool to me. So
yeah. And I just noticed something. I'm watching it right now. When Link walked through a certain area and it called whatever ruins, there was a saving icon in the bottom. So as soon as he got to that area, it auto saved, which I didn't watch Game Explain, so I don't know. So the Zonai ruins, and then it's saving automatically, which is a new thing for Zelda. So, I just noticed that just now. So
I'm very okay. That's like a modern
that's very
change.
typical of RPG. I was going to say Western RPGs.
Yeah.
So
that's a good thing. And Link's armor. No one talked about Link's armor. It looks freaking badass.
Oh, yeah.
It was dope.
Reminds me of Rise of the Tomb Raider. One of the outfits in the.
I still haven't gotten that one. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, really cool. And then the shield and everything. So to me, like at the first time I saw the gameplay, I was like, I even said in my video, I was like, man, if this was Switch footage, I think it would have had a lot more impact, and because it's not even at 1 million views right now on their YouTube channel. And,
the trailer is.
The trailer is, but the gameplay isn't. And a lot of the E3 gameplay wasn't either. So, it was a weird video, but just like even having it on mute is actually better than watching listening to them, because they're trying to be entertaining. Yeah, for the audience and stuff.
Yeah, they were trying to be like funny and relatable. Like, see, we're gamers
totally
too.
Weren't.
Yeah,
wink.
So, now that I'm watching it for like the third time and focusing on a few things, I've just noticed some really cool stuff. And like Terrell said, I'm ready for the game. But seeing this was cool to see more new stuff. And Mike pointed out the chameleon effect. Those I don't know what they are anymore. They got a single horn, they're kind of lizardy looking, and they come right out. They were blended in with the environment. So Mike, you talked about that already, but anything else you want to touch on about the new gameplay?
Well, like I said, the difficulty looks like it's going to be really hard, and I think that's a good thing for Zelda games, because typically you get hit and you lose like a quarter of a heart. So it's been ridiculously easy for a couple of games, except for the ones that have hero mode. Hero mode offers a bit of a challenge, and Skyward Sword was challenging too because you had that sword mechanic that you had to work around. But yeah, I think that's a good thing, the difficulty, and I feel like it's gonna. The game itself is like a survival game, Breath of the Wild. So as you're trying to survive, it's like much more dangerous and scary when you're taking real damage, and then you got to worry about how you're going to recover your health with food and everything like that. So I think that was great. Combat-wise, I love how they can do like slow-mo, those flurry options, like to get an advantage, and how you can even use the glider to glide above your enemies and then slow-mo hit them from the on the ground. Like, there's some really creative ideas there, especially you can use the physics to your advantage and make like rock slides if you have like your runes to do it and stuff like that. So, I mean, and what they showed in this gameplay footage with the lightning arrows and the camouflage enemies, I feel like the enemies are on point. They know how to hit you, they know how to hurt you, and you got to be on your toes. And I think that's a really good thing for a Zelda game.
Yeah, because I mean, playing Twilight Princess HD this year, that was one of the weak things. Is the enemies. Like, even when you're like riding on your horse and they come up on the boars, and it's like it was just tedious. Like, swing your sword as fast as you could and hope hit them. Maybe use your bow and arrow. Like, to me, the general enemies were just kind of tedious and try to avoid them. Where just because it's really not worth it. Where here it's like it looks like enemies are going to be, and you could still try to sneak around them, but to me it looks like that's part of the gameplay challenge. Part of the puzzle is just defeating the enemies and surviving, where that's never really been the case on Zelda. It's just always been, like you said, very easy once you get some hearts, and it's just the boss battles you're really worried about. So that's definitely...
I want to say this is like the most creeped out I've been when it comes to Ganon in a long time, probably since like Ocarina, where you, especially at the final fight, or actually when he comes blasting out of the castle and he's chasing Zelda and Impa
Ocarina of
on
Time.
the horse, and like that, and then like when he's playing the organ at the end, and and then just when he becomes Ganon, like I just Calamity Ganon just seems so creepy to me.
Yeah,
like the idea of him.
Well, it was a cool
being stuck
throwback
in the
to
castle
the original
like
Zelda.
No, it's more of a throwback to like A Link to the Past, because in that game, Ganon is actually like an evil miasma that comes from the Dark World,
right?
And I believe possesses Aghanim. So it's almost like they took the idea from A Link to the Past of Ganon being this wicked jockey, this evil mist presence, and really amplify that and put it into Breath of the Wild.
Just seeing that mist go around Hyrule Castle, and then you'll see like his head emanate out of the mist. To me, that's some creepy stuff to me. I don't know.
But so cool. I mean, like I said, watching the gameplay clip on mute has definitely been the best experience with it for me personally. Not hearing them, like I said, trying to be relatable and funny. I just learned a lot of new stuff. So Terrell, I don't know if you have anything you want to talk about as far as the gameplay that we, anything we talked about.
Well, I don't think anyone mentioned the electric enemies, right? The ones.
Yeah, I mean, real quick, but that's definitely new.
I like the variation that we're getting in enemies. It's not just everybody's running around with like, all we've really seen is the Guardians shoot lasers, and we've seen like the Moblins. Moblins just attack normally. So I like seeing different enemies with different elemental powers. Everything else has really been talked about. It just looks cool, and it's like I said before. At this point, you just want to play the damn game.
I wish they would have shown some magic. That's the only. I'm still holding out.
Yeah, what's going on with that, man?
Y'all just want the tease. You want to tease you.
Just a little tease, man. Just a little green meter.
I only need a little bit, man. You stop holding it on me.
I don't think we're gonna get that. I think magic is pretty much the relics that you get, and that's like
that's true.
Bombs.
So technically, you have seen magic.
I mean, I think there's Sheikah Slate is, kind of magic.
Magical, man.
Yeah, I still want like him to cast spells. I just that'd be cool.
I mean, they can do it again.
Done it in a while, and and he only did it like once. and it's just
like even the arrows. There's ice arrows and fire arrows in the game, and that has nothing to do with magic.
Yeah, well,
but no, because they're like in the Wind Waker, there was certain kind of magic you would use based on the elements, so they could bring in that. They could bring that back in and kind of take it to a newer level, hopefully. That's what I would hope from like a magic in a brand new Zelda game like Breath of the Wild, is something like that. Like improve upon the magic kind of use systems that they've had in the past, and that'd be fine. That would be. I mean, it'd be nice if they went back to like the real legit kind of magic they used in Adventures of Link. I'd love if they did that. I think T might be what you're thinking.
Yeah, like Adventures of Link, where you can turn into a fairy and.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, just this discussion alone has already just tripled my excitement from from what it was before we had this discussion. You know,
that's cool.
I mean, I'm paying a little more attention, listening to you guys point out things. So I went back and rewatched it, and I'm just like,
yeah, I'm doing that too right now, actually.
It's like, I mean, it's just I'm so excited right now. I don't even know what to say. Like. The possibilities.
And it's close. It's all really close too. Like that in probably 5 weeks is when they're going to tell us in January.
Yeah, we'll know.
Yep.
And it's like
hopefully a launch. Hopefully launch.
You got
I still think maybe.
Cool looking spear. You got all these weapons. You've seen this cool shield and just Link's new outfit, and it's like there's so much to get lost in.
Oh yeah, he used the spear in that gameplay footage show. He used that really cool.
Yeah, there's like a spear head, looked like a edge on both sides. So
well, and also the simple fact that this stuff that they showed us took us outside of the plateau. I think it was really big that all the stuff in the trailer and the gameplay was outside of that small but also gigantic area that they showed us at E3. So that's a whole new element, really getting an idea of the context of the world and like how much variety there is. That's a big deal, man.
I'm so excited for this game.
Yes, I know. And I'm watching it again just like you did, Juice, and it's killing me. It's breaking my soul right now. Freaking need it. That armor is so wicked. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's
So do you guys think that the Master Sword will be like I was hypothesizing before, like only for past scenes? Or do you think that
I think you'll get it.
Restored?
I think you have to get it and restore it in the game, but I think there might even be a time travel. You might even be playing sections in the past, like before the Calamity Gammon took over. So you might actually, instead of just being a cinematic showing the time before, you might actually be playing almost like Assassin's Creed, where you go, it's a memory, but you're actually playing.
Yeah, that'd be a great mechanic. I mean, that would be borrowing from some other games, but I think it would work super well for a Zelda game.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's a weird thing. I'm curious what you guys think about this, because as far as we know, it doesn't seem like there's a companion for Link in this game.
Yeah.
And that actually makes me really sad. Yeah, that makes me really sad. Do you guys have any opinions on that, or
you're talking like Midna,
Fee,
the fairy,
Navi, and all that stuff? Yeah, he's had one for a lot of the recent games, and now we don't have one.
You're just gonna have the voice of coming from whoever talking to you in your head. I think that's
the Sheikah Slate is probably gonna again cover
they
that.
Could do that, yeah.
It's probably gonna be a voice emanating from the Sheikah Slate, something like that.
Do you guys think that they've yet to reveal one to us?
It could be.
I don't think so.
They could be holding that back. You never know.
You don't think, Robert?
No, I don't think. I think it's kind of him on his own alone adventure. With
I have mixed feelings on that. Well, go ahead.
The world is just, because of Calamity Ganon, the world is kind of dead, and he's kind of like awakening it slowly, and maybe something like a companion will come along at some point.
Maybe there's a section.
I want something like that. I want a, but they're breaking a lot of conventions, so that could be one of them.
See, they are, but that's a convention I personally just don't want to go.
Yeah,
give me someone that works. Link and a companion that talks to him and annoys him and gives us stupid percentage facts that we don't want. Like I want that annoyance in my Zelda game, personally.
I'd be happy with just someone talking to you at moments, and it being kind of a mystery.
Well, to be fair, my favorite Zelda game of all time, The Wind Waker, basically did that with the King of Red Lions. So I guess that would be nice, but I just want some annoying creature talking to me throughout this game. So that's just me.
I guess final, and sorry, we're not going to get to questions. I'm going to leave them up. Leave that post up so we can get to them next week. I just want to end with the second bird creature that his name's Cass. And he looks like a parakeet, and he's playing like a what is that?
Is it a minstrel? He's playing an accordion.
Accordion. Yeah, he's playing an accordion, and just that's a really cool character design. You know, Zelda's had ups and downs in my opinion in character designs. You know, Groot for one, and
Groose.
Groot. Guardians of the Galaxy.
You're watching too much TV.
Yeah.
I loved Groose, man. I loved it.
He was all right, but you know, they haven't always had they haven't always had amazing
design.
You know, like the actual character
depth,
design.
though. Like, you know,
Yeah, but I'm talking about the actual fit, like
growth.
the design of the
I
character.
love the Wind Waker characters. All those
Yeah.
guys are great.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, yeah, I agree. I think this parakeet humanoid character is very like old school Disney. Like,
Yeah, compare that to God damn it. I just lost it.
Is it a Zelda
keep
game?
going. Yeah, it's a Zelda character. Keep going. I'll think of it.
Well, I mean, I see what you're saying. Like the overall design, like the aesthetic of all the characters, whether they're human or enemy or whatever, there's like a sleekness and like a weird kind of like modernness to it that you haven't really. They kind of touched on it with the Wind Waker, and maybe Robert, that's what you were going to kind of get at. Like they kind of started to do that with the Wind Waker, and they kind of started to do it with Skyward Sword. And it's funny too because this game feels like the evolutionary visual style of like those two games put together. Like Wind Waker and Skyward Sword, and now we've gotten Breath of the Wild. So I do like what they're doing. Like they're going for something real sleek and effective and modern, even though it's a game that has like a historical kind of like touch to it. So and the real question is, and like when you brought up Groose and stuff, she was like, what other NPCs that you work with and talk to that are like your allies? What are they going to look like? And will they have the kind of growth and stuff that I think Groose had? That's what I'm hoping to do with the story of the game.
Yeah,
I don't know how you look at this Breath of the Wild and long for that E3 2011 demo thing, like visual.
Yeah.
I completely agree, and I know the people that still clamor for that are the same people. Are the same people that like ditching in the Wii U, you know, in 2015. It just seems like the same type of people. It's that same type of mindset.
I mean, I'll tell you, I ain't gonna pretend like I didn't love that, and I wouldn't love to see a game like that.
I liked it at the time. I wasn't in love with it. I really liked it.
I mean, I think it's great when I look at it still. I never expected that to be a game. They never made us think that was going to become a Zelda game. So I don't know why anyone really let themselves believe that was supposed to be what Nintendo was going to give them. They always said this is a tech demo. They always said that. But I mean, there's no doubt I prefer this. I absolutely prefer what they've done with this game.
This is what Zelda should look like. This is them coming around to the early like concept art, and not concept art, but like the package art for like the early Zelda games. This is them finally like imagining that. Yeah, this is great, man.
Yeah, I actually feel somewhat pity towards someone that still wants that tech demo Zelda after seeing all this. Like to me, I
only pity them if they pass up this game for that.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
because like let's say the next Zelda. What if they went for something that's really trying to be more realistic? Like if they still made Zelda a great
like
game,
Witcher 3 or something.
Yeah, would that style still appeal to you guys?
I mean, if everything else is still Zelda.
No. I just love the fact that they're so different, like all different Zelda games. I think that's one of the reasons why I don't get fatigued with a lot of Nintendo games, because they're so different visually. You know, maybe the gameplay isn't that much different, but they just look so different. The hooks
of each game always change, like the looks and the hooks. I meant to rhyme that. The looks and the hooks,
nice.
They change every time. Yeah, man. Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Right. And the thing I was trying to think of was the Gorons. You know, some of their designs pretty not very, in my opinion. Yeah, they were thought out. In fact, in the way that they curled into a ball, and their design probably was based on that, but. Just to me, like there's so much more put into what they're doing with Breath of the Wild, just taking it to a level I've never seen.
No Piantas, at least they're not Piantas.
Yeah.
You have the story of the Goron backstory, you know, with Volvagia having a Goron hero that destroyed the dragon and Ocarina of Time. You have the Goron in Majora's Mask. That he was like a really awesome character. You know, you became his spirit or whatever. Then you became the Goron.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
They
like,
did some good character stuff with the Goron.
the design of them doesn't
like the visual
speak
design.
to me. Yeah, the visual
Well,
design. I like the character.
To be fair, the Gorons, you have to think like the genesis of that design was the Nintendo 64 technology.
Yeah.
So they had real simple geometry and like
Yeah,
one
now
color
they're
palette.
trying to stay true to that in any new version. So
yeah, you got it. Yeah, that's what I think it is. But I mean, I agree with you. But when I remind myself that they had to start simple when they created them, it's like, well, that's just how Gorons are. The Nintendo's the 4 polygons of the Nintendo 64 says that's what Gorons look like.
Mm-hmm.
They were Gorons in Twilight Princess, right?
Yeah.
No, not in Twilight.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yeah, because they're at the spa. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Those are
Kakariko
pretty
Village.
different looking from the other ones, I think.
Yeah. Well, and what they did in like cleverly in the Wind Waker and in Skyward Sword with the Gorons you run into is they gave them clothing, which kind of makes it feel like there's more going on visually. It's like it's like trickery on Nintendo's part.
Yeah, the one in Skyward Sword, there was just the one salesman guy.
Yeah, it was just the one. Yeah.
Right when you landed.
There was 3 in Skyward Sword. 3
Was
Gorons.
there? 3.
Were they all had the same look, though, didn't they?
No, they were different. One ran a minecart minigame.
Oh, that's right.
The other one was in the beginning. He's like the traveler. He goes
the traveling one. Yeah.
Yeah, right when you land in Hyrule.
Right, and then there was one in the Lanayru Desert that was trying to dig up something.
That's right.
The Thunder Dragon or something like that.
And Wind Waker, they was on like that island where stuff got destroyed. Like,
and they were the traveling ones that you traded the flower things for, the pots to upgrade your pots, and you would trade with those guys, the Gorons, which was awesome.
But, yeah, definitely could do a whole Zelda podcast, but we'll wait till after January 12th to see.
Yeah.
So I guess just wrapping up the Zelda talk. What do you want them to show during the Switch, or do you want them to hold some stuff back? I mean, because I really don't want to see much more before I play the game. So I'm just show a Switch trailer of all Switch gameplay, and hopefully you can tell the difference. I mean, if they're going to do that, otherwise don't.
Only thing else I want from Zelda is the damn release date. That's it.
Release date.
That's all I want from
I think it's got to be March because that's when the Amiibos are coming out, and I don't see the game not releasing with the Amiibos. So, right? I mean, unless that was false.
I'm holding out hope that it's March.
We'll see. And we'll do a prediction for that January 12th in probably a week or two before. It's depending on people's schedules and stuff, but yeah, we'll do all predictions for that, including Breath of the Wild.
That'll be fun. That'll be really fun.
So yeah, I guess we'll just like I said, we'll get to questions next week, and I didn't want to interrupt the discussion that was going. And so we'll get final thoughts on the podcast, not just on Zelda, and find out what movie Robert saw this weekend. So we'll start with Robert.
Okay, so here's the craziest shocker. I did not watch a movie this whole week.
I don't believe it.
That's right. However, tomorrow I'm gonna go see Moana again, and then Wednesday I'm gonna go see Fantastic Beasts, and then next week Rogue One, people.
Yeah,
oh
man.
my god, get hyped, people. Oh my god.
I forgot that was coming out.
Can't wait. Oh
Juice,
my god.
don't be crazy, man. Come on. It's a new Star Wars movie. It's a great time.
I will say that
it's a great
as much
time
as I do like Star Wars, the one thing that just rubs me so wrong is Gillette Mach 3 Rogue One edition.
Oh yeah,
and it's like
it's ridiculous.
Also the car. They have
movie,
also a car thing.
Because they have a car.
The
promotion.
Nissan commercial
for this movie, not being in a main episode, and I was, looked like it was going to be a little more, less for kids, I guess. For the long time Star Wars, that are all adults and stuff. And it's kind of what the movie, it's more of a war and stuff. Like, I was hoping that it was just going to focus on the movie part of it, but, it's Disney and it's Star Wars. So with a movie
make that money, man.
comes merchandise. And that, to me, that stuff just, it lessens
I mean,
the pre-excitement for me. Once
I mean,
see
it's
the movie.
ridiculous, but I mean, the movie is what matters.
didn't they pay George Lucas back yet, man? They can stop doing that stuff.
Seriously, it's the Lucas Empire that does all that merchandising stuff, man.
Like, I don't mind the BB-8 little cool robot thing that actually works. Like,
yeah, if it ties in well, yeah.
You know, like that thing's like $120, like really cool piece of tech. You know, if you wanted that, something like that. But it's just the cross promotion with things that aren't even related at all. That's the kind of stuff that doesn't sit well with me. But anyway, Robert, do you have anything else?
I can't wait for Zelda. I gotta beat Paper Mario, Final Fantasy 15, Last Guardian out tomorrow, people, and enjoy life.
All right, how about you, Ms. T? Final thoughts?
Yeah, all great stuff from the trailer. I'm very excited for Zelda. I got a lot of games to catch up on. I'm gonna do an embarrassing backlog video. I have games that I bought like 4 or 5 years ago that are still, I haven't opened them, and they're not collection games. They're games that I wanted to play, and I just never got around to them. So, I gotta get X out the way first, and then it'll open up everything. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing, and like I always say, play Nintendo, fool.
All right, how about you, Rob?
So this kind of podcast and discussion does make me so much more excited for Zelda than I already am. Kind of like you were saying, Juice, which is like stupid to think about because there's no reason anyone should get more excited than they already are. But it's just when you talk about it and you dissect and you look at what Nintendo gave us, just that little bit of stuff, it's really exciting. So goddamn, I just can't wait for freaking January. I'm definitely getting overloaded with games, so I'll say that. But talking about Zelda today has made me want to put Skyward Sword in as soon as this podcast is over, so that's probably what I'm going to do, and I'm very excited to do that. And the only thing I'll say movie-wise to build on where Robert wasn't able to talk about movies is my girlfriend and I went to see Arrival the other night because we missed it when that came out, and I loved it. We both loved it. It was a really fun alien movie, so that's about it, and I look forward to next week's podcast.
Cool. All right, Terrell, final thoughts?
You ain't gonna get me to focus on anything until I finish Shantae, and that's not happening because I'll be playing that like a madman. But anyways, good podcast. I appreciate the discussion, even though Zelda isn't really in my top franchises. I did enjoy the footage. I did enjoy the gameplay. I enjoy the discussion. I like hearing people talk about it. And I'm just looking forward to just playing the game at this point, just to kind of sit down and really focus my attention specifically on Zelda. And because Shantae's already out now, that means I will be all freed up for next year, at least as of right now, unless I become a Sony pony, and I don't know if I'm gonna make that.
You're the last to join the club, man. You're you're behind
the only
now,
one
man.
in this group that doesn't have a PS4.
Yeah, man. that was awkward as hell. Never again, T. Never again.
He's a changed man.
I don't give a fuck. You better keep that horse away from me.
That's a pony, man. That's a pony.
Chill out.
He's a
Oh
son.
my god. It's like a damn cult.
The T's and I's opinions just got way more valid because we got PS4s now, so our opinions matter way more than they did before.
That's how it works. That's science, actually.
Exactly. That's why I bought one, so I can.
But yeah, good podcast, and like I always say, life's a game, play to win.
All right, next and last, I guess last before me would be Mike. Give us your final thoughts.
I'm always, happy to talk about Zelda. It's what I'm always looking forward to when I come on this podcast. The trailer was amazing for me. I loved it. It gave me so many ideas for theories and timeline placements and all that stuff like that. So this game has got me hyped beyond 9,000. Like, I'm just dying to play this game, mostly for the story, really. If I'll be honest with you, more than the gameplay, it's the story that excites me. I've always been a narrative guy, so. Can't wait. The gameplay does look awesome. I like how the enemies are smarter and how things are more challenging. And I love, obviously, that you can climb everywhere, you can go everywhere. But it seems like Nintendo's just got this perfect hit of gameplay and story, and that they're really going all out with this game. They've been working on it for 5 years now? So,
500 years.
Probably. Yeah.
So I mean, like this game should really be like the pinnacle of the Zelda games. I think not only when it comes to gameplay, but when it comes to story. I know that Aonuma is personally overseeing the timeline. He's paying special attention to things. So I think he's going to make everything fit, and then he's going to do a good job story-wise. So nothing but excitement for me. I'm dying to play the game. Thanks for having me on the podcast. Look forward to talking about Zelda again in the future.
All right. And I do want to point out, I think, was it Twilight Bites? Who was the one who made the argument that Monster Hunter is one of the most next-gen games, like this gen, on the 3DS Monster Hunters? I think it was him or somebody made this like really good argument about that. And I know, people are going to say, well, there's Elder Scrolls, there's this and that. But what I'm seeing from Zelda, the Nintendo Magic, the attention to detail, adding, plus going into this new direction with open world, and it looks like some story stuff, like Skyward Sword, a little more focused there. All the different gameplay elements we've seen and stuff we don't even know about, cooking food, the different costumes, all the different weapons now in Zelda. Like, to me, and then the AI, and that was just one example. Maybe they're not all like that, but to me, this looks like the most next-gen game, and I hate to say next-gen, but I don't know there's no other phrase, game I've seen probably since, the 7th gen really started going, because everything we've seen so far in the 8th gen to me is just building upon games and ideas we've already seen before. And to me, like, this Zelda footage and everything we've seen is just leads me to believe like this is going to be the next evolution, the next leap, like Ocarina Time was, Mario 64 was, and stuff like that. And I'm just so excited for it. And this might be controversial, but I still haven't seen a reason not to play the Wii U version. But we haven't seen the Switch version yet. Like, there's nothing I've seen that says, "Oh, I can't play it on there." The game looks great.
My thing is whether or not to cut you off, but I agree with you, except that we haven't even seen how the gamepad's being utilized at this point.
Yeah. So that's what I meant. Like, I haven't seen a reason not to play it on the Wii U yet, which could be all changed on January 12th. We'll find out.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see. I'm definitely getting this. If it's there at launch for the Switch, I'll definitely get it. There's no question. But it looks like the Wii U version's just going to be just as capable. I mean, it looks incredible. There's some jaggies. Oh, no.
A jaggy.
So, yeah. And then I think that's going to be it. Who knows what we'll talk about next week, because we never know. And it seems like we just did last week's, where we were talking about how we didn't think we had anything to talk about, yet we did. Great discussion. Maybe, like I said, after January 12th, find out more about Zelda, finally do that Zelda discussion, like probably on a weekend or something, different than the Juice is Loose, and I look forward to that. I'm going to be playing, Uncharted 4. I'm definitely going to play through it and finish it. Sweet. And got some other games I'm looking at, and just going to throw this out there. I'm not asking for advice. I'm not asking for games I should buy. I'm doing a lot of my own research. I'm playing demos. Like, this isn't an open call. I don't want 10 different people telling me 10 different games I need to buy, stuff like that.
Juice, you're an adult. You don't get to make your own decisions. Yeah. People have to tell you. That's how this works.
Yeah, I had to put some people in there. A couple people were just trying to tell me something. I'm just like, listen, I didn't ask, and I'm not asking now. So if I do ask, though, you'll know, and I'll appreciate feedback. But I'm just enjoying the system I have. It's a good time because Nintendo's not putting anything out for me, and Shantae got delayed. Now it's potentially the 20th, but I'm happy I purchased it. I'm gonna be looking at some games here in January, and it's an exciting time.
By the way,
is it 100%? Okay.
Yeah, they actually just confirmed it. They say the Wii U version is the only one they're waiting for final approval, but like Xbox One, PlayStation 4, it'll be out on the 20th.
I'll tell you right now, if it's available on the PlayStation or PC on the 20th, and it's not available on Wii U, I'll get it on whatever. I'll probably get it on the PlayStation 4.
Well, I mean, I'm playing it twice anyway. I'm gonna play it on PC, and then when the Wii U version comes out, because that's the version I backed it for, was the Wii U version.
Yeah, and I have the other two digital. I have no point or no reason to or no problem buying this one digital too. So, but yeah, looking forward to that. And yeah, thanks for everybody for tuning in. And sorry the chat got a little ridiculous. I didn't notice I had to block the same person, probably 4 or 5 different usernames, was just being an idiot. So I apologize for people. I didn't catch it right away, but I did finally block. So I guess we've attracted a troll, and it's been 2 weeks.
People.
Fuck fuck those people, and I'll be blocking.
Hey, you know what that means? We can say
we made
a
it.
Cave troll. I had to draw the ring.
We finally made it. The juice.
We made it. We got trolls.
So anyway, thanks to the usuals, and Gloria, if you're listening to this, can't wait to hear about her 65-inch OLED TV she got on Friday.
Oh, that sounds nice.
I'll take one.
I want a 65-inch
nice TV. It's a nice TV. So, all right, we'll talk to everybody next week. Peace.